All right, guys, today we got a special guest in the house, Mr. Helicopter himself out here whipping everything in sight. The man, the myth, the legend, Nonstop.
Yeah. What up, Jake? And the chop.
What's good, bro?
What's good, brother? What's good? It's good. What has been almost a month now since the last one we all got together.
Since the live that we did, yeah. I don't think it's been like 2 years since the first interview.
Well, yeah, you can say that like 50,000 times. Yeah, damn sure it has. His first one has been like 2 years. But still chilling, man. It was laying up in the cut, man. That's why it was good to see everybody on that live that day. Know what I mean? So now we're doing a solo one again. I'm back.
Right. So for the people that, may not know, can you just give a little introduction though?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Nonstop. You know what I mean? Straight from Forest Projects, 166 and 10. COK for life. You know what I mean? Cuban is my boy, is my brother. White boy, Louisville's, whoever know, you know what they do. You know what I mean?
All right, let's get straight into it, bro.
Yeah.
So you're from the Bronx, right? But were you born in the Bronx?
Nah, I was born in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. You know what I mean? And I left Brooklyn when I was 2 years old, and then I was raised in the Bronx since then because I was adopted by some Italians. And I moved to Little Italy in 184th and Hughes Avenue in the Bronx. It was Italian neighborhood, you know what I mean? So when that went through, the family was tight, and then my family came back, and then I ended up moving to Forest Projects on my own. You know what I mean? I lived over there, Forest Projects over here. So, and that's more than 166 and 10.
Wow, so you were adopted, but it was just like a temporary adoption, kind of like a foster family?
Yeah. And I thank God because, you know what I mean? Most niggas don't even most people don't make it out of foster care, but yeah, you know what I mean? So it's a family that took me in, that I was raised with, actually me and my sister. But, once we got to a certain age, that's when we, you know what I mean?
So then you move to the Bronx. You said Forest
Projects, yeah.
Right. Okay. But then you also have connections to the Littlevilles, though.
Oh yeah. That's where it started. I moved to Forest Projects in 85. You know what I mean? And I met Cuban in Littlevilles. Like, first person I met in Littlevilles is White Boy.
Okay.
White Boy, he was hanging out with us first. That's when we started Posse None. You know what I mean? PM. We was hanging at 23 Park, and Cuban used to come to the park all the time. But at that time, I think him and Pun was just chilling. So we was dumb young. I think it was like 16 at that time. It was like, because I met White Boy when he was like 15, 16, because we grew up from there. You know what I mean? He Littlevilles down the block, and we right up the block. I mean, not even a whole block, because we all hung up in 23 Park. You feel me?
Who did you meet in Terror Squad, like multiverse first?
First person I met in Terror Squad was Crime, okay? His name was Crime. And Crime is original Terror Squad member. Original,
Street team.
Yeah. He's from original, like, Ken Do, Chris, Italian Joe, Fat Joe, Charlie Rock. Charlie Pebbles, Charlie Rock. You have so many, Black Dave, Little Heck. These are the originals. And Crime, he was the first person I met. And how we met, because I was talking to a girl that lived in Littlevilles, okay? Her name was Jessica, you know what I mean? And White Boy, he was talking to some chick. White Boy lived in Littlevilles, so every day I was going to Shorty's house. Her name was Jessica, and she lived on the second floor. So I was tight with White Boy and, Cuban, because my Shorty lived there, you know what I mean? So, and that's how that came about. And Crime, he was messing with my homeboy, my other homeboy, his name is Big O, his sister name was Joe. So he's the first person from Terror Squad, and that's where it began. And I was a little youngin' too. But him, that's the one that showed me everything. You know what I mean?
So you knew Charlie before he went in?
No.
To prison?
It's two different Charlies.
Okay.
Charlies. Yeah. No. I never met Charlie. I just heard of Charlie. You know what I mean? It's like when Charlie came out, that's when all this drama started to happen. You know what I mean? That's when Cuban's going through, you know what I mean? All this shit, everything hit the fan. So at the same time, you know what I mean? But I am going to tell you something, tell you this, though. I never forget this. To this day, I'm waiting for my tracks. Now, I mean, Cuban heard it. I mean, it was a while. You know, I made this track. And I mean, it was Distant Tony Sunshine, son. The shit was fire. And this is after, you know what I mean, once I got stabbed up 6 times in Southern Boulevard. I think it was in 2006. It was like a couple of years. And I mean, this is when I was hanging.
Wait. No, you can't just start jumping into all that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You gotta go back a little bit, okay?
But you bringing it there.
All right, wait. So then you end up meeting Cuban like shortly after you meet Crime, or how long after Crime?
Cuban, I already knew Cuban in Littlevilles. I met Cuban
okay.
But White Boy just hanging there. Like I hung out in White Boy's house and Cuban used to be there. You understand?
And what was your first impression of him?
First impressions, man. I was a loud dude. The nigga was nice. He was funny. He was we was like all brothers. I mean, if he hung out with White Boy, then he was a goofball. And he was a real dude. I mean, we only it's like real recognize real, right? But he was a goofball, crazy sense of humor. We used to blow it down. We drink, we goof off. And the biggest thing, man, how it really connected, we used to go to the pool hall right there on Boston Road. I think it was like 168 Boston Road. Him and Pun, masters, man. I ain't gonna lie, masters at the pool hall there. But everybody hung out there, know what I mean? The old terror squad, because we hang out there right there, 166 and 10. Then Littlevilles, we already know every Friday and Saturday, niggas don't gotta call nobody. Back then we had no cell phones. Niggas had beepers. I mean, you don't gotta call nobody. Everybody know what time we'll meet up right there in front of the bodega. And we already know, yo, if they ain't there, we knew where we was at. Yo, let's go hit Littlevilles. We already know they there. So that was a dope move. So we go to White Boy's house and everybody's in White Boy's house. And, you know, it's just going on and on and on. You feel me? Yeah. Yeah, you bringing back some memories, man. Oh, my God. I mean, it's some good memories, some bad memories. But, you know,
right.
Yeah. So, you know, oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah. So that's the first time. And Crime wasn't like, Crime is a real dude. I mean, he's a real dude. And he wasn't the type to associate with everybody. You understand? At that time, it's like he took me under wing. He seen what I was doing in the streets. I was young, but he also seen what I was doing. So he seen something in me, and he into, you know what I mean? We go down the line with that, but that's where it all started. You know what I mean?
So when you met Cuban at that time, you didn't know Pun yet, but you met him like shortly after?
I met Pun shortly after because they was together every day. Mm-hmm. I started seeing Pun, trying to think of this fucking car. Sorry. I'm trying to think of this car Cuban used to drive. It was some white car, bro, 2-door joint, man. He'll tell you, bro. I mean, it was all right. Hey, my man used to whip that shit around all the time. And he used to go to Lehman College. Him and Pun used to be in that. But at that time, that's when Cuban bought him around because he used to bring him up the block to 160 and in front of the bodega. And that's when it was like in the 90s, man, like 89, 90. It was like, it just happened so fast. So, you know, and every day that was a routine. They'll just come up. And this is way before Pun was, you know, rapping. You know, this is before Philip Clips came. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Philip Clips didn't even start yet. They was just them playing basketball. We getting it together.
So at that time, that's when Pun was skinny, right? Because he used to be able to dunk and shit.
No, he wasn't as fat. When I met him, he was still chubby, but he was, you know what I mean, still broad. He wasn't all skinny like in the picture they have in the sheepskin. That picture was from back in Soundview, because I used to live right there in Cozy Corner in Academy Gardens. So, you know, I know some people out there. I know a lot of people out there. And a lot of people know me, and they give me a lot of respect. You know what I mean? From Soundview, Cozy Corner. You know what I mean? Salute to G.I., man. Your head up. He's locked up right now. You know what I mean? He was one of those G's that got caught up with the feds. I mean, when Mary Jo White came down and locked a lot of them up. I mean, salute to Hocus Focus. Hocus 4/5. You know what I mean? Hocus 4/5. He'll probably remember my face, but they used to all be out there in Academy Gardens. I mean, things were so sweet. I respect them. I'm going to salute them to the end. It was like I was the only, they gave me so much respect, my G, that I know they're going to see this video. And I hope his 45th see this. But G.I., I mean, he's locked up right now. He knows me. He used to call me Money Mike. but they gave me so much respect. It was like, that's when I had my personal driver. My personal driver, he'll pull up in and this is true story, he'll pull up in the red Navigator. I come outside, coming out of Academy Gardens with the red leather, coming from Cuban house, because Cuban used to live right down the block in the big White House. I have it in all red, and they'll still salute me and give me a pound. You understand? Because back then, you couldn't just wear red like that, cozy corner. Now, there ain't been nothing not right there. You understand? So it's some real good things back there. There's some real good things, and that's where Pun, you know, that's when he was real skinny. He was doing his thing. That's where he's from and all that. You feel me?
Got you. So at the time that you met Cuban and Pun, were they already rapping?
No. That's what I'm saying. When I met Cuban and Pun, we was playing baseball, softball.
Oh, wow.
We used to meet up in 23 Park. We was playing basketball, handball. I mean, Pun was nasty in handball. I'm telling you, man. That's back then, bro. That's when 23 Park, when it was fun going to the park.
So how long after you meet them does rapping start to be at the forefront?
98, 99. I never forget the day Pun was sitting on 2 crates in front of Bodega. He asked me...
Wait. But he signed to Joe like around like what? Like 95, right? Because Capital Punishment came out in 98.
Well, then I'm off a couple of years then. So it's about like 90, yeah.
Because in 95, that's when Jealous One's Envy comes out, right?
Yeah.
And then Pun's on that.
Yeah. You're right. Correction on that, no doubt. And I never forget, you know, before that, you know, Pun he sat on 2 crates in front of the store. Like, yo, Nonstop, yo, order me a hero sandwich. And the dude, you order him this hero sandwich, he asked for 2. But he wasn't that big, man. The dude, oh my God, Pun was lovely. Oh, I got this crazy story to do, right?
Wait. Before you start going into all that, all right, we got to take this slow, okay? Come on. All right. But with Pun though, right? Like, so... what was your first impression of Pun when you met him?
He's a real dude. Damn, this nigga, baby. Nigga was nasty in basketball because that's the first time I really see him play ball. But when Cuba introduced me to Pun the first time, I was like, damn, his name, at that time, his name was Moondog. So,
right.
Yeah, you know, that Moondog. So it was like, damn, okay. My nigga, probably like Pun. But the way he moved, I'm like, this dude was great. Great at everything. I was crazy, bugging, like, yo, how's this dude doing that? How's he like really making these shots? How's he like really doing this? Yeah, it was crazy. He was nasty in basketball. Him and Cuban, tag team. And they start playing people around, you know what I mean, the area. Then white boy, then we all go behind. It was like behind the school. They have a basketball court, and that's where everybody going like a good day. That's where you found Little Lose out too, you know what I mean?
So with Pun, like at this time, was he like representing himself as just like kind of like someone that joked a lot, or like did you see him like really like beating on people and shit like that? Like what kind of image did Pun have at the time?
What I seen Pun, I mean, I'm used to Pun joking, snapping. We played knuckles, playing spades in the park, drinking 40s. I'm like, I had my experience with Pun, like I could say way before the rich, you know, the wealth and all that. Because once, you know, he got signed. Now he's going on to another chapter. That's when bigger things, houses, money, and all that come. So I really didn't see him as much, but, you know, I was always a part of Cuban. You understand? You understand? Like, Pun is here. That's not my level. That's not my area I belong in. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Right. But when he came around, I seen him. He was on the red scooter, things like that. But he always showed me love, just salute. It wasn't, Cuban was the main one. I always hung out with Cuban. You understand? But by the time I really started really hanging out in the music with Cuban, Pun had passed away. So I never really, because I was doing a lot of things on the outside, getting my money. So I never really, you know, went with Terror Squad over here, Joe, and I never forget. And I asked Cuban one time I said, yo, why you never took me to that place? I only went with him. You understand? I know not with Joe, all of it. And he kept it real. And that's when I learned about the industry. Certain things he just told me, you know, and to protect me and to protect other people. Because a lot of this day and age is like a lot of people was getting sunned out. You know what I mean? People was getting not treated right. So that type of world, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I understood what Cuban said, because people don't, I be watching everything on YouTube, bro. Okay? Everything, right? Cuban, I had a lot of people. I'm not gonna bring no names, but Cuban, everybody got their personal feeling about my G. Me, I get it. Y'all just met him. Y'all just met him 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or whatever. But hanging out with him because he's an artist. So that's why y'all feeling him. Y'all build a relationship. Boom, and all of a sudden y'all go sideways. Me, and then everybody, he's always doing this. He need to stop crying. He need to stop that. Nah. Let my brother breathe, man. Why? I grew up with him. I know how he is on the inside before he was nothing. He has his personal vendettas with things. Leave that man alone. Don't judge whatever he's doing. You understand what I'm saying? If he want to make that move, let that man make that move.
You know Felix.
That's right.
You know who Felix is.
Exactly. I know Felix when he came Lyrical Assassin, from Lyrical Assassin to Cuban Link. You understand?
Right.
We used to hang out we used to, walk up there. I can't even remember. It's like on a 6 line. Hang out with some chicks over there, go to the house. We've done a lot of things, man. A lot of things. Those are my memory days, you know what I mean? And now I'm just...
So what are your memories of when Full Eclipse started to come to the forefront?
Oh, shit. That shit is dope. Oh, here we go. My bad. That's when, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, B, man. They was opening up a club, right? This is like how it started, right? It was a bunch.
He opened the biggest club in the Bronx, right?
They was trying to open it. They was going to open it, right?
Right.
All right. I don't know. I forgot. I don't remember the name was gonna be, but this is when it's like it was Posse None, but already Pun, Cuban. We was all together. Posse None, Louisville's, and Terror Squad, the original ones, hanging in front of the bodega every Friday and Saturday. You understand? Oh, we'd go to Littleville's, right? Now, B comes around. Cuban introduced us all to B. At least to me. I mean, a lot of people, Joe and them probably knew him already, whatever. B took us and said, yo, y'all want a job? It was like, what? It's like, yo, let's go do some construction in this club. It was me, my man, Hog, white boy. Yo, son, B was paying us, I can't even say, some good money. I mean, some good money an hour, and we did some construction. We built that club, man. We painted that club. No lie, no cap. Cuban to tell you, it never got open, but that's when Full Eclipse was on. They was already planning how the shows was going to be there and all this. So one day, like I said, I'm not in the business. I'm not in that world. At that time, I'm a shorty growing up, whatever the case may be, but I'm with Cuban, you know what I mean? I'm with Pun, with the whole thing, Terror Squad. That's when everything was live. And that's when, they had a show. They was going to do it in the Apollo, right? Pun. And they had the jackets. B came around. I believe B invested in the Full Eclipse jackets. Those shit was dope, son. Dope. Cuban, I threw his on, let me rock it. My man, Tone. Tone is from Louisville. Psycho. He's Louisville's. Tech 9, that's what his name, Tech 9. He's straight Louisville's, that's Cubans. He's part of Louisville's. Psycho. Real dude. But, yeah, that's when, where was that? Because damn, I got excited for a second there. Where was that?
You were saying the club never opened, and then...
Yeah, that's right. You paying attention. Good. The club never opened. We don't know why. I don't know why. But at that time, that's when Full Eclipse started. They had a show in the Apollo.
Right, the Apollo.
At that thing, we showered, and this B, they had the thing. We closed up the club like we finished working, and B took us shopping. He bought us some sneakers, some clothes, because the club was that night. That's how real it was that Cuban and them was performing. So we got dressed. Yo, no fucking lie, my G. We said, yo, instead of us being, my man, instead of us jumping in the cars, we said, yo, let's take the train. Yo, it was like 100, like 50 of us. We caught the train on Prospect. This is true story, bro. Yo, how about half the dudes paid, half the dudes started hopping over, and son, no lie, you had about 100 cops come out of nowhere. I think, did I get locked up that day? Yeah, I got locked up that day because I started fighting with the cops again. Mad of us got locked up, but Cuban didn't get locked up and punched, and they ended up going to the show. So I don't even know what happened at the show because I was in the boat. A bunch of us.
Wow.
I never forget. Pundit, they heard the story. This dude started rapping about it, right? We went to 23 Park the next day, and every day we meet up in the park. And after the show, they told us about it. They was like, "Yo, what's wrong?" I was like, "You know how many cops? Yo, they came out of nowhere, son. They came out of nowhere, and it was on a weekend. We should have known that." But I mean, half of us got locked up. I mean, for some stupid shit, and got slammed on the floor. This nigga Cuban, the cop pushed him back. And Cuban went flying into like white boy, like leaning back. And this nigga went to go punch the cop. Yo, son. Yo, he went to go punch the cop. I want to say white boy grabbed him. And I look, and when I turned around, the cop is hitting me. I said, another cop. I said, oh, shit, what the fuck? And I get locked up. Next you know, these niggas is out. They good, you know what I mean? That shit was crazy. I'll never forget that day. And the next day, they told us about it. Now, I mean, we was at 23 Park, and this nigga Pun, man, we was all sitting in at the table. We was playing spades, matter of fact. Niggas went and got some, you know, I mean, got some 40s, you know. It's a summertime day, so we start playing for knuckles. Now, I made you lose that nigga. Yo, son, look, let me show you, son. These cigarette burns right here, this is Cuban, this is Pun. He used to put the cigarette burns out on the arms. We'd do that while we played. The knuckles, breaking your knuckles so they bleed, son. But we be so ripped just chilling, you don't even feel it till the next day, man.
Yeah.
That shit was dope, man. That's dope, bro.
Did you have a relationship with Triple Sace?
Oh, yeah, man. No question, bro. Sace my G. You crazy? Sace, man, you know, I remember one time, Sace, he let me hear that.
Was Sace at the train situation?
You know what? I'm quite sure he was dead, but he didn't get locked up. He was dead because they was performing. They had the damn jackets and all that. We was Lowfield. You know, the posse none. We was dead.
Right.
I mean, we was part of Cuban. I mean, we was Cuban. Cuban always said, man, like his track, this is for my real niggas. That he really wanted to put. He was putting us on, man. I mean, I didn't want to get on. I was happy. I was happy for everybody. It wasn't the music for me. Don't get it twisted. I got some fire, but that wasn't me. I'm more into to making pizza, you know, I'm a chef, shit like that. I like food. I want to invest in that, but Cuban, I hold them down.
Right.
We will I'll be there. I will bleed for my G. I will hold them down. People don't understand. It's not because of the music. It's not because of this or that. I ain't got nothing to do with the music and all that. It's because who he is. I understand him. You understand? I understand him. I know how we was raised. This was what we do.
So when did you first meet Tony Sunshine?
Oh, shit. When that nigga moved, once again, sorry about that N-word. I'm trying to think what year he moved to Forest Projects, because I met him I'm trying to think when he moved there. It was young. We were 16, 17 when I could be lying. I'm not even too sure. I met him when he was like 16 because he lived on the 8th floor, and my man Harv and Lewis, they was part of Posse None. They lived on the 8th floor too. I'm lying. Tony lived on the 8th floor. My man Harv lived on the 8th floor. Tony mom's, rest in peace. You know what I mean? His mom's passed away. Rest in peace. I do show him respect for that. But yeah, I think
RP the Wanda. Right?
Yeah, definitely RP Wanda. His mom used to hang out with my man Harv's mom's PANDA. So they worked in the hallway. And we used to hang out in Harv's house. So Tony was hanging out there, and that's how we met him. Anthony, that's how we met Anthony. You know, he lived in the hall, and that's how we really grew up.
So what was your first impression of him when you first met him?
I mean, I already knew he was about, because, I mean, the dude, he was weird. You know, at first I didn't, you know, we knew where he come from. You know what I mean? He was struggling, things like that. I mean, nobody was rich at that time. But at the same time, there's other ways. We didn't know his background till he started telling us. I mean, I don't know if he was telling us to feel sorry for him, but we understood it. And that's when people started taking him another way. Now,
well, what do you mean by that, though?
I'm about to tell you. I mean, you know, like I think he lost his pops, his grandmother. I don't know. He was poor. He didn't really have a lot of money. So he didn't have a lot of clothes, stuff like that. He didn't have a lot of things. So we used to help him out. Yeah, I mean, I let that dude rock my clothes. You know, it was good. That's how we built a relationship because we used to hang out every day. We see he didn't have nothing. I remember one time we went with him, we went to the floating hospital. And he knew this chick. It was this chick. Her name was Inez. But this was a good day. That was a good day. And he went down there to sing. And I rapped. You know, I did a little 16 bars on it. It was the floating hospital. Never forget. And then we came back and, you know, he was dating that chick, but it wasn't none with me. But that's like a good moment. And, you know, he used to wear my clothes. We used to share a lot of things, all of us, you know. And, you know.
So you guys were really close then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People don't understand. That's why people, they quick to assume and make judgments. But no, we was tight, man. It wasn't like I just know him. You understand? I know Tony before. Anthony is Anthony. We used to ride skateboards together. I mean, skating the hallways, hanging in the hallways, 9-8. We in each other's house, man. On the weekends, we hang out at each other's house. This is how deep it is. We asked our parents, can we stay in each other's house? Because we was rocking playing Nintendo, son. That's when Nintendo was dope, man. Double Dribble was out. We hang out at each other's house, man. We had at that time, we wasn't smoking weed, doing nothing like that, man. Mom Dukes and things like that didn't play. We was hanging out as a crew. We was actually riding skateboards, chilling. A whole lot. So it goes way back like that. That's how deep it goes, you know. And everybody started aging, but I started noticing the kid was weird when, you know, the dude, the way he used to hang out with us. Never seen him have a fight. He never had a fight. Never in the street. Tony's not. He never, ever, ever, ever had a fight. But the dude will call cops on himself. Cops would come and he'll run just to draw himself attention. All right, that's facts. And he can't lie about that. He done that plenty of times on a Friday. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that, though? Like, you mean just for fun? He'll like...
Yeah, just for fun. Just for fun. We'd be hanging in 166 and 10, man. We'd be hanging in front of the store. Next, you know, a bunch of cops will roll up. And next, you know, he just be like, yo, and Tony will start running. We're just like, yo, what this dude doing? What is he doing? And no cap, man, no cap. Of course, he'd deny that, but I mean, so it was just weird. But anyway, we always thought something was wrong with him then. And I mean, then he got into a car accident. So I don't know what was the issue with that, but.
So the times that you were hanging out with Tony before this situation happened and everything, right? The times that you were hanging out with Tony, there was a lot of times that you guys were just like on some like one-on-one, like real bonding kind of like shit, like where you guys shared like real brother time.
Yeah. Yeah. We hung out. I mean, he hung out in my house. I hung out in his house. It was plenty when nobody was around. We had chicks in his house. I mean, it was like some real shit. We went to the show. We hung out. We protected each other. He was part of Posse 9. He was part of Littlevilles, man. We protected him. I mean, he never really went out with us and bang. He never hung out on a Friday. So he didn't go out to things like that. His moms and them, he always had an excuse, but he always stood out of trouble. That wasn't his life. So we didn't knock him for that. That wasn't his lifestyle. I mean, he was a fucking singer.
Well, what about what Cuban said? Cuban said that there would be times he would do dumb things like knock out a homeless person or something like that, but like he wasn't like fighting.
Well, he was grown, and that's true. He'd do dumb things like that. I mean, to try to gain respect. But that's not gaining respect. I mean, you see that a lot around our hood. I mean, they used to knock out bums a lot. I mean, I don't know, I guess it was just a thing. But I guess he thought he was gaining some props and getting some, you know, I mean, whatever. But he used to do some dumb shit. That's part of the dumb shit, is like one of the time calling cops on himself and running. It's part of it. It's camp shit. I mean, see, the drama with Tony, people don't understand where it began. They like, I could start talking about it now. You understand? Like, when he got on, he did come out. It was like, when he got on, it was all good. It started off good. He brought me to the studio where Joe was at, right? And this was like maybe a month after like a month after, could be a month after that, what happened to, you know, my nigga Cuban up in Jimmy's. So, but at that time, I'm like, he took me to the studio there, but the tension was bad. I didn't know, nobody knew what was going on. You understand? At that time, nobody knew until everything started hitting the street. And I was like, whoa. Some things happened that day. Things happened that day in the studio with Tony, and it got real ugly with me. Something happened that day, and that's how the drama started with me and Tony. You understand?
Wait. Okay, wait. We got to back up a little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So the time frame that you're talking about right now is already past the incident with the slap right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's past that. But at this time, this is right after the situation that happens at Jimmy's with Cuban getting his face cut.
Yeah. Like before anybody knew anything, who did it?
Well, you knew about it, right? Because the word was on the street already, right?
Yeah.
So then you
But-
decide to go with Tony to the studio.
Yeah, I didn't know whose studio it was.
Oh, so you didn't even know that Joe was going to be there?
No, I didn't know who fucking studio it was. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I did not know who studio it was, Tony. I told you we was cool at that time. I didn't know, this already happened.
Okay, because you got to let the people know, because then like they're going to be like, yo, how you going to Joe's studio if you Cuban's man?
Nah, chill. No. Stop, Panda. Stop. No. When that happened, you know what I mean? Andy, I'm trying to think what year that was, man. This is whatever year that happened, a month after.
2001.
Yep. Me and Tony was still cool. Tony was still cool with Cuban. Everything was still love. Besides, what happened to my man Cuban now, So it's a regular Friday. Me and Tony, we was talking. He came out to my little goddaughter's thing. We had a little party. I rented this center out down on, what's the name of that club, bro? It was a known club, man. Roombas. It was named Roombas. Zips, it called so many damn clubs, but that club, so many people died and they just kept changing the name. But it was a center across the street, and I said, yo, it's going to be big. And it was a lot of girls. It was like a baptism. So, when Puerto Ricans do a baptism, son, it's big. And I told him, yo, everybody knew I was, I was family with Tony Sunshine, Cuban. So I was like, I'm going to have him come through. And of course, he did it free of charge because it was a homie thing. He came out, he sang, he took some pictures. It was love. Next day, he said, yo, Nonstop, what's up? You want to go to the studio with me? I said, no doubt. Of course, no doubt. Want to see what's up. And who was with me? J.I.S. I think J.I.S. one of my people, J.I.S. came. So I'm going to, Tony's always, I have my studio because he's already getting on. He's already on. So he got his studio. He got this. I don't know if he's selling dreams. He's about to get this big house. We don't know. Only thing we know, he already signed his deal. We're like, wow, congratulations and this and that. So he's telling us all this, so of course we're going to believe it. You know what I mean? So as that go, we everything was copacetic, man. So we get to the studio. He goes buy some pizza. He actually sends somebody. He goes in and out the studio. I didn't go in the studio, all right? I'm in the waiting room because they got this shit. The shit was dope because they got it like set up outside. Then they got the booth inside, like a big ass room with nobody else. So he goes in there, in and out. So I said, I'm going to go back there. I go back there, and I look, and I'm like, whoa. I seen through the glass before I went through who was back there, right? So I ain't said nothing. So I went out back to the dining area. To where everybody was at, and I told one of my peoples, which I thought that day, that this is crazy. One of my peoples, J.I.S. It's like, yo, guess what, yo? He's like, yo, what up? I said, yo, we got to go. I said, we got to go. Then he's like, why? I said, because when I was in there, I heard something, son. They was making a track. So, on another note, that's on another total level, and I ain't like what I heard. So I said, we got to go. He's like, nah, I'm chilling. I said, no, I'm going. And I bounced. And since that day, me and Tony caught mad drama.
Wait, can you go into what you heard, though?
It's not even about going in what I heard. A certain individual, man, yo, son, and I think I'm glad I didn't have my can on me that night. And I'm saying this, live, but thank God. Somebody was watching me because, only thing I hear is, I said, yo, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? And niggas was fucking recording it, like making a track.
Oh, so they was trying to make fun of the slicing situation with Cuban getting cut, basically.
And the person that did it, and that's how is, the person that was doing it wasn't that. He was, he was straight up. This nigga fucking bucks fist, man. That's where he grew up with us too. That's Tony's boy. Yeah, I hung out with Tony. When Tony got on, he switched, and that's when him and Tony got on. I mean, Buck Fifth he was still people's. That's the one, Tony. I mean, Cuban said that he seen him at, I think it was a war show. He came in with Terrence Squad. He slapped him in the ass. He was like, yo, what up, Buck?
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. So,
damn, do you see what I do for you guys? How I connect the dots and bring all these people together and make the story. You see,
yeah, we're gonna talk
picture.
on the side about we're gonna talk on the side about some things. I see how you doing it, but at the end of the day, son, son, it just gets deep, son. So, and ever since that day, that's why we had beef with them. Because one, after that happened, the next day they went back and lied. Okay, and I think Cuban press, of course, right? That's my G, son. I don't know what was being plopped, right? So we spoke, and then, Cuban took it from there. But, that's when the drama was hitting. And I'm not going to lie. They could have, who knows? Anything could have happened, or, anything involved with anything. You feel me?
So your perspective is kind of like, all right, Tony, you there witnessing this happening and shit like that. And if you're really cool with Cuban, how could you allow this to happen? Basically, like the biggest violation.
Yeah, son. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, son. Look, I'm going to tell you this too. Rest in peace, Footprints. No cap. He did the same thing. He was about to place odds. I called him somewhere, right? I let Cuban know I was going to tear Footprints up, in Cuban's house. Oh, yeah. Because once again, that's when I said, son, he still rest in peace, man. He was cool with me too, man. I don't understand. This dude, he used to take me to Yonkers. He was like an OJ driver too, but the kid used to dance. He started when For the Clips came out. He used to dance on the stage and all this crazy shit with Fat Joe. He was nice. He was from Jersey. But he did the same thing, man. Switch sides, man. Son, that dude, man, I was going to throw him out Cuban's window, man.
Well, what did he do exactly?
Running back, telling shit was going on in Cuban's house.
Oh, he was trying to play the middleman, basically?
Yeah, and it got back to us, dude. Guess how it got back to us? Through chicks, son. Because he definitely was getting the chicks out there. He was a pretty boy, nice car, and all that. He was good dude. Don't get me wrong, but when I seen that, that's when I lost respect, and God bless his soul, and that's when I heard, and you know how he passed away, but we ain't getting into a lot, but he passed away and all that, so, but yeah, I never forget, and I was like, that's when I started feeling that, I was like, it's too many, it's still, the energy is not good, got too many, so many people, it's right, but when that happened, that's when I lost it, and that's when I caught beef with everybody, then that's when everybody wanted to cut, hey, they're coming for Nonstop. They said, let's get Nonstop.
When did you first meet Joe?
I met Joe when I met Crime.
Oh, so around the same time then?
Because it goes a story from Crime. Me and Crime, that's when we got into business. Yeah, when I met Crime, that's when we started doing business. And that's when I got with Joe. This is when it was all family, man. Everything was.
So you were really tight with Joe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I used to, I hung out with him. Broke,
You made some money?
Yeah.
Say less, okay.
That's how I started. Yeah.
So what was your first impression of Joe?
He was a real dude, See, it's crazy. The side I lived on, yeah, it's the Puerto Rican side of Forest Projects. Joe, they had their part, but it was also, that was the Moyo side, the blacks, there was the other side, African Americans. So it's like, it was Joe, he never came around really. Sometimes he'd pop up, he'd come out on a Friday, he'd pop through. He was never really on the block like that, but he'd come through with his MVP. I always respect him. Yeah, they used to go at it sometimes with the other, African Americans in the blocks. It was just a territory thing, man. It ain't no different from jail, how people for colors go, because you have blacks over there and Puerto Ricans over there, and they still was going at it with each other. So,
right.
Yeah.
So through your dealings with Joe, were they always like positive?
Yeah.
So you never had any issues with Joe or anything like that? It wasn't until later on when the situation with Cuban and everything where it changed your perspective of him?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, my perspective wasn't just because of Cuban. I mean, I'm a grown man. I look at it not just people on my own. I can see what he's about. But yeah, I mean, Cuban's my nigga. So yeah, excuse me with that word again. Cuban's my G. So at the end of the day, to them, that they're like, okay, Nonstop was with them. Yeah, he's gonna get it to or whatever it was, whatever they think or whatever they say, and that's how it works. Yep. And that's how it is. You know what I mean?
Can you talk a little bit about like the positive times that you had with Joe though? Like was it really like close or was it just business?
Nah, it was just business. It wasn't no close. It wasn't business. It was no.
Kind of like a little respect there.
Yeah, it was just respect. And that was it. I see him, yo, whatever, he give me love. And business. Like, you know, he'll be around, we there. I'm there. I mean, and no, but the rest of other people in Terror Squad, it was like I hung with them. We hung with them because they was in the block. You feel me? Right. Joe times go when he comes to the hood, everybody he shows love. Sometimes he'll come with mad 6-packs and everything was good. He'll come just throw shit in the hood, but you know, out there we was getting money too. So at the same time, you know, we had that locked down, 166 and 10. Yeah.
Cuban will say like Joe is pussy or whatever, right? But from your perspective of what you witnessed, did his reputation really live up to the way that Joe puts it out? Like that he was like this big boss and like he was like that dude for real?
I mean, I can't even say that because to be honest, in my eyes, I only see that man for what I know he was. And I've seen him get in and out of his MVP, talk to us and keep it moving. So I can't say if he is or not, because I did see him have a fight with one person. And no, it wasn't even him. No, I'm lying. It wasn't even fucking Fat Joe. It was Lil Heck. He had a fight with Troy, but it was some shit. I know Fat Joe had came that day. He came because after the fight. That's what, yeah, he came that day. But I mean, I can't elaborate on, you know, how Cuban feel. And I mean, I can't say it because I mean, I got my personal feelings. I don't got nothing personal towards him. Like I want to go at it with him or something like that.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to support my G though. If I'm there, like we in fucking Winter Haven Hotel, they pull up, we're going to do what we do. 1 against 10 to the end.
Right.
The end to the end, you feel me? And that's story.
But from your perspective, he was respected in the hood though.
Yeah, he was respected in the hood. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he was respected in the hood. Especially Brook Ave all over the Bronx.
But would you say that the way that he tells his stories, it comes across as a little exaggerating?
Yes, it does. Of course. Of course.
Or that's what I'm trying to get to.
Nah. I'm giving him his props, but you know, 25% of what I've seen is 75% of what I don't know. So a lot of it, I can't judge it because I wasn't in that world with him.
Right.
Like the big time world. I mean, Joe always, that's one thing. When I see with my eyes, the dude always been going up. You understand? When I seen him with Lord Finesse, I mean, I held the banner when he first came out with Flo Joe. It was me and Italian Joe. We held the banner running in the Puerto Rican parade. So, you know, that's when he came out with Flo Joe. Yeah, the Flo Joe. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, we was deep. We met up that morning for our projects on the corner. Yo, son, we took the train that day. And ain't nobody get locked up that day, though.
Wow, so you knew Joe before even Flo Joe, right? Like,
we was playing baseball. That's way before Flo Joe is when I was doing businesses.
Got you.
And he showed me some things. You know what I'm saying? He showed me some things. So I knew him, but hanging out, like, after a work day, it's not like he'll say, yo, Nonstop, come hang out with no. And he never called me Nonstop. He called me Mike. You know what I mean? He'll call me Mike. But everybody else call me Nonstop, things like that. But everybody else, you know, Terry G. Kill, Ken Do, Chris, you know, people like that, Legs. I can't forget about Legs. And he was another, you know, black guy, tall, funny dude, real Terror Squad, Fat Pito and all that. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that hang in. Those are original Terror Squads. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So can you tell us about the vibe of the Bronx at the time that Flo Joe came out? Like, what was the response, bro?
When that shit came out, man, it was going fucking bananas, yo. I remember that day clearly because after Puerto Rican Day Parade, son, it's like when we do parties, Yo, son, we partied the whole weekend, man. We used to throw house parties Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man, in the projects. Had parties every day, every day. When that shit came out that day, Joe had, I'm trying to think, man, exactly, because at the nighttime, it was some club shit we all went to. But that day was sick, bro. When that FloJo shit came out, it was fire because it was like, I don't know who wrote it, whatever, but it was a nice picture. It was a good look for, Hispanics and Boricuas and all that. And I was part, I was holding with the hearts and that shit was dope, yep.
Wait, what do you mean you don't know who wrote it?
Like the song.
You don't think Joe wrote that song?
Hell no, son.
Why do you say that?
Nah, I ain't right that.
Why do you say that? You don't think that he wrote it though?
Ain't right. If he wrote it, man, then no, they ain't right. He wrote that. Like,
because I spoke to King's son, and King's son said he wrote it.
I know King's son wrote it. I met King's son one time because he came to the block, 166 and 10, and he ain't gonna remember me probably because I was a little shorty growing up. I mean, that's that time. That's when I'm doing my thing with Joe. But I know he ain't wrote that. He probably wrote this shit is real too. I know he didn't write that. King's son probably wrote that too.
Well, King's son said he wrote probably like about 90% of that album is what he says.
So all the albums, he wrote them all. King's son wrote all his albums. That track, that shit is real. Yo, tell mama to that, like that track. I mean, they was dope though. Cause I used to pump that shit, in the boombox, the yellow fun.
That's Cuban's favorite Joe song.
I bet it is. But yeah, King's son, I mean, I know he didn't write it, but I know King's son had a lot to do with it because he used to be in the block.
Okay, well, before we get to that though, right? Were you in the music video for FloJo?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I was on the other side, man. I was in Littleville the day they sent that.
Okay.
I mean, I was there when they shot it, but I mean, we had opportunities. I just didn't want to be in it. Yep. I did not want to be in it because you had the original. That's not, you look at that video and you look at the other video, this shit is real that he did. That's the original Terror Squad right there, bro. I didn't even be in that video. I didn't want Cubans. I didn't even get in Cubans. I happen to. Cubans told me all the time. He asked me all the time. It's just something about it. You know what I mean?
All right. So King's son come into the block, right? Now, I interviewed Tomb, and Tomb said that, King's son would come to the block all the time. He had a bunch of guys with machine guns and all this stuff like that. Like, did you witness things like that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about, one time when they popped the truck, yep. Oh, yeah, I never forget that day. They popped the truck.
Well, let me say this first, though, because I know Tomb said that the guys were mute, but King's son said they were not mute, but they did have machine guns. That's what he said.
Nah, they was, I can't call that, but they definitely did have them, though. They had them, though. But at the end of the day, man, some real sick stories about that. And Tomb, the sick one.
Yeah, we're going to get into Tomb. But for King's son, like what you said that there was a crazy story that you remember?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's when he came to the block. We was all in the corner. He pulled up. He had some dudes with him that day. But him and Joe, I know it wasn't, the drama wasn't between him and Joe. Somebody else pulled up in the car. They started beefing. And I know it was people from, I want to say, by Jerome Avenue. I don't know. It has something to do with money, videos, music, whatever. Son, that's when I said, that's when they popped the trunk. King's son. Yeah, he popped the trunk and mad dudes got out the car. Like cars started pulling up. So, and I don't know who the dudes was. So that's when I know shit was real. But I was the youngest, so I backed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So during that time, you saw King's son with Joe all the time, pretty much.
Yeah. The sweat play. I mean, Joe drove around with temporary license plates for fucking months, bro. The cops used to memorize his ass all the time. There's one time the cops drove by the spot. I mean, they know what's going on out there, but they drove by the spot and started singing through the fucking speaker through the car. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta. That shit was bad funny.
They did it. Are you serious? The cops started singing the song?
Yeah, the cops started singing the song. I never forget.
Oh my God.
I was like, bro, that ain't a good look, son. But it was funny though. But that track was dope, man. You had kids, little kids singing that shit, man.
Wait. So did the cops start going, Fat Joe's back in town from the boogie down?
Nah. They just said, you got to move. But they used to harass him all the time. But, you know what I mean? That nigga used to throw his middle finger up at him. But, you know, some real shit. My bag, I had to empty that. But yeah, they used to have him all the time. But they did that day. That shit was mad funny, though. That shit was funny. They got on the fucking speakers like, you got to film, Joe. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was your, what do you remember about King Son other than that, though?
That's it. I didn't hang out with them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Do you know TUD?
Who?
TUD?
Nah. Who's that?
He was in the group with Sace.
And what
Young
group?
and Ruthless.
Oh, no, that's a group after Sace quit or something?
No, that was before he joined Full Eclipse.
Oh, nah. Like Sace, we know each other about because Sace was nasty and he taught me a lot of tricks in softball. That man is nasty. I remember one time he was on, he tried to burn my line. That's what we call it. I was playing third base. He tried to burn my line. And he had some shots every time he had knocked. And that's how we started to grow up. But I never forget. He said, yo, play this track. And that's when it was, I can't remember the name of the song, but that's when I had my pizza shop. And I put that in my van and track was fire. But Sace was part of the block. But Sace, come to the hood. Yeah, Sace was all around. He never stood in one spot. Like, he didn't hang like that. He had the most Sace hang, like, a long period of time, hanging out with us, like, for hours, is when we played baseball.
All right. Well, what do you remember about meeting Tomb for the first time?
He used to come up with, it was Flavor Flav, his boy Flav, and, you know, it was the Ride Mud. All the people from the Ride Mud, because they used to hang out in the pool area too. So I met them, Cuban, hanging in.
So you didn't meet him with Crime?
Well, they knew Crime, so everybody was around. I didn't meet him with Crime. I met him with Cuban, just being in Littleville. They all, and it's like you see, they seen us with Cuban, then they seen Tomb and them coming up the block with Cuban to 160s and 10. That's how we all just met. That's when Tomb used to have 3 fucking braids right here. Hanging down. I had 3 fucking braids right here, bro. Thick. And wear fucking shades in the morning and the night. Like, the door was wearing shades in the morning and the night. Yo. But it was him, Ramad. I can't remember their names, man. Lenny, I can't remember. He'll tell you all they need. But yeah, man, Friday, Saturday, we'd be all just hanging out, man, in their house, our house. That's when I met Tomb around the same time, though.
So you said that you had a crazy story with Tomb.
Yeah, man. It was in the same corner, yo. Same corner, yo. 160, that was the block, man. All right, so he comes up. Regular day, man, we come out there. They come out with the coolers. We got a bunch of beers. As a matter of fact, it was a Sunday. Salute to, rest in peace to, I forgot the dude's name, but from 25 to Life. You ever heard of that clan, 25 to Life?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They was from the second part of Forest. Like 90% of them was from Forest Project, yeah? But they was all over. They gave a lot of respect, but for some reason, Terror Squad and them had some, drama. That was big boy stuff. Like if we got into some drama, it was like with Junior Wolfpack from Longwood Avenue. Terror Squad were like, for us to handle it, they eyes, So 25 to Life was with them. Son, I don't know what happened, but I know it was like 4 of them came to the corner. And I want to say they approached, I think it was Italian Joe. My man Italian Joe, he's part of Terror Squad. Tomb just walked up. We all just chilling. Homeboy said, son, so my man Italian Joe, son, snuffed him. Yeah. I turned around. Tomb picked me. You know the garbage cans? The big metal garbage.
Wait. Tomb and Italian Joe is fighting?
No. The dudes. You got to listen, Panda. Right?
Okay.
You got to listen. I already said it. It was 4 dudes that just popped up. They was from 25 to Life. They walked to the corner. They came from the second part of Forest. They walked to the corner. I don't know what was going on, but they approached Italian Joe.
Got you. Okay.
About on some business level. Okay. I don't know what it was, Italian Joe just started doing his thing. Bap, 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 whatever. Tune noticed. Next thing I turn around, yo, son, you know the metal garbage cans they have in the parks in New York?
Right.
Yo, son, this nigga had it in the air. Wah-boom! Yo, son, he picked it up again. Wah-boom! Hit him again. Yo, they started taking off. I said, yo, thank God he's on my team. That's my G.
Thank God he's on my team.
I said, yo, that's my G. That's my brother.
Like, I would hate to be fighting him. I'm so glad he's on my
and
side.
It's like Toon just like walked up. Like walked up to the block. It's like everybody's coming outside. It was like 12 o'clock. We all come out early, man. And we started getting it on. We started drinking and trying to play some softball. And you know why? Everybody's making that money. Doesn't make a difference. But yo, son, that day was crazy. That's no lie. When I turned around, only thing I seen that garbage can in the air. Yo, son, you know how heavy that is?
That's crazy, man.
And just to pick that up that quick, yo, he said, come on.
That's like a real wrestling move right there.
Yo, it was crazy. Next thing you know, they owned his kicked off. He was like, yo, what happened? What's going on? That shit was funny.
So they didn't chase after them?
No, man. No, man. I mean, they come to our hood, and I mean, it ain't like they was gonna kill each other next day, whatever. But whatever the drama was, so drama, whatever. It was like that all the time. Know what I mean? And then you'll still see the same person. Because I had plenty of fights in the hood, man. I had plenty of fights. I lost and won. But that's how I gained my reputation. But I won a lot, many than those. I tell you that. 'Cause I'm a little psychotic. But that's how that's how that shit was crazy, man. It was crazy. And besides him doing the show at the Apollo, he went that day. He was there that day. He didn't get locked up though,
right?
Because he was on the train. He didn't get locked up. He was there that day. Yeah, all the good stories with Toon, man, that's the real crazy one right there, because that tops everything. That tops everything. And besides the pool halls, know what I mean?
What was your reaction when Uncle B passed away?
I was hurt. I mean, I was hurt. I was shocked. To me, when I first met him, because he was so smooth, right? And I used to, B put me on to a lot of things, I mean. That's a dude, like, he had a good heart. You can't do him wrong because he'll still help you out. Do it wrong. Because, he helped everybody out. I thought, like, when I first met him, he was so cool. Like, that man wasn't going to die till he's, like, 90.
Right.
I mean, I know his wife. I mean, I know his little son, BJ. So it's like, it's like, wow. And I used to hang out in the studio, Pirate recorded, and B, man, I was like, wow, man. When they hit me, I was like, are you serious? I said, how? Nobody ever gonna say. And I heard mad stories. He got poisoned. They shot him. I said, I don't care. I said, I can't believe he dead, man. It killed me right there. Then, I had my own thoughts in my head, like, it's just a life,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Uncle B sounded like he played like a mentor kind of role in your guys' life.
He definitely was. And he definitely did not want, he didn't like violence amongst friends. He did not like violence amongst friends. And I guess, I don't know how he entered, the whole scene. I know how I met him. I met him through Cuban and all that. He took us under the wing. And, it's pretty much Cuban vouched for us to do the construction shit. He's the one that set that shit up for us. Cuban knew who he was, man. We was getting paper, man. It was about that time. Because, it was going to be dope, son. That shit was going to be dope, man. We did an excellent job, son. We had jackhammers breaking down the walls. Son, he is 6 foot. We had so much food. Son, it was so lucky. And, B would go in his pockets like, son, here. They just throw money on the table because that was like our pay. And we didn't get paid for it. I mean, he showed us love. If we needed something, here, act. He'd be like, you good? They're like, yeah. And, here, take that. And he don't ask you questions. He'll just do it. And, some people take advantage of that. I've seen people take advantage of it.
Yeah, we know one person that did.
Yeah, took real advantage of it and thought shit was sweet. And he wasn't built like that. But B, man, he'll give anybody the world. And I'm not just kissing ass. I mean, if you know B, I mean, you know B.
That's That's tragic, bro. Like that's the type of shit where you
word, man. When and then me and Smooth never spoke about it and never brought it up. I never even spoke about it to Cuban. Nobody. I never asked them questions. When I found out, when they told me, I was like, what? I mean, I was there. I mean, around the area, but just never asked questions, man.
I remember when I interviewed Smooth, and Smooth was just like saying like that was like one of the few times he ever seen like people from Terror Squad cry was when Uncle B passed away.
Oh, well, that ain't the only time because.
Well, he said one of the few times.
I was there. Yeah, I was there. I mean, when my man Gizmo got killed, I was there that night too. You know, that bullets went over our heads, and we bawled that night. We bawled. I mean, we bawled. That was the first member like lost in a long. Dad passed away since a long time. I mean. So it was like crazy. It was crazy. And then B passed away. Oh, yeah. We bawled, bro. You're going to cry like a baby, like you lost your moms.
Can you talk about like one of your most memorable times with Uncle B?
Of course. Nobody know about it, but, you know, B used to, Cuban know about it. Yeah, he used to come see me. You know what I mean? In Academy Gardens. And it was him and his wife one time. And, you know, he wanted to have dinner with me, but we was doing business one time. And he used to always say, yo, what the priestess is that with? He used to stay away from him, man. I mean, my boy is resting in peace, but he used to stay away. But he never liked precincts and nothing like that. He didn't want to drive next to it. I said, there's one over there. I think it was 43rd precinct over there next to the sound. So we used to meet in Castle Hill. And, you know, and we hung out that night. We ate some pizza and we talked. And, you know, one of those, just that talk. And that's a memorable time because it was just me and him.
Right. It was special.
It was just me and him, and nobody know. And, of course, Cuban know. Yeah, you know. And then that's something we was doing and nobody knew because I was the type I always did my business without nobody knowing.
Right.
Everybody used to say, yo, I was still getting money. I mean, I always slide off. And my crew, Posse None, Cuban ain't lying. I was always the leader. I mean, one thing I didn't like is getting into a fight with my crews. I didn't like fighting you. You would think I'm a punk because I fall back from you. But we don't get it twisted. We got in some bros. Until one day I said, you know what? Y'all ain't showing me no love. And I just started giving it back to them hard. You know what I mean? And that's when I realized they ain't real bros no more. You feel me?
Can you tell... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but B, man, he was a mentor. You know, he used to tell you, there's a lot of things I was expressed to B when we had that talk that day because that's when I was living in Soundview. And, you know, this was like, you know what I mean? It was based on money and survival, though. I mean, so he used to give me good advice on especially investing.
Right.
So I asked him because he knew from that start I was into, you know, I mean, I had this thing about Italians since I was adopted. And when it comes to, you know, I was like, I can't say the first ones, but it's like one of the first ones that I know that shook hands with John Gotti and met him. You know what I mean, and I used to live over there next to his social club. So, and that's through my, you know, adopted family. And that reminds me of B. Every time I dealt with B, he reminds me, he was so smooth. He talked so calm, never worried, eye to eye. So he was definitely a good mentor. I asked him a couple of questions, you know what I mean? But it was hard to catch him by himself because he's always showing everybody love. He just he just didn't have a favorite.
Right.
I mean, he was a businessman, you know? You showed him love, you showed you love. But you had more than just me, other people noticing people taking advantage of you. You feel me?
Can you talk about Gizmo's passing? You said you were there.
Yeah, man. We went to a club. I went to a party, a house party, man. We was deep. The original Terror Squad.
And for you guys that don't know, Gizmo is the one that taught Fat Joe how to rap.
That's right. I never forget. That's right.
He was
Gizmo
Joe's
did this
first ghostwriter.
That's right. And his first track that I heard, it was called "Rest in Peace, Pops." We rented.
Stop hitting the thing, man.
My fault. Yo, the first track that I heard Gizmo did was called "Rest in Peace, Pops," and he performed it. We went all deep. We rented this. Well, they did rented this U-Haul. we all jumped in the back of that joint and went somewhere in Manhattan, and he performed that joint in front of mad people. And him and Joe, and, you know, right now it should be Gizmo shining, you feel me? And that night it was horrible, but it's like we was asking for it, you understand? Why would we go to a party when we know we got beef at it?
So the people that were hosting the party, or just people that were going to be there?
Nah, it's everywhere. I mean, it was live. It was like the area just there.
Got you.
It's just people there, you know, people in the block. The block is like air, and then, you know, the club is right here, but you know you got drama with everybody here. At that time, we ain't give two F's. It's a party, we got invited, we there. So, but if they wanted to get it progress, so, you know, we got up in there, you know, the girls, it started all, I want to say with the girls or contact. The only thing I know is like, what? We turned around, I was like, yo, what's good? And homeboy's popping the trunk. He's pulling something out. So one of my peoples, they just went it, and because homeboy pulled it out, and we see my man Giz fall. When he fell, that's when my man started reloading. It was a crazy night. So we noticed Giz was on the floor. My man GQ, Terror Squad original member, he ran up to Giz. I was behind him, my man, Little Hack, the Godfather, you know, Little Hack, straight Godfather, you know, Rams, like, oh my God. So when they realized he got shot, they picked him up. Alpo, original Terror Squad, he started with Joe doing the music thing, Flo doing all that. Now he ain't with them no more, whatever the case may be. But Alpo, this, you know, I don't know, man. Something happened. All I know is Giz didn't go in Alpo's car. So my man West, he had so many different names, but he was getting money. He threw Gizmo in his car, and they drove straight to Lincoln Hospital, but they didn't make it. So by that time, when we turned around, it was like maybe 5 seconds. So cops must have been around and seen it. Because when we turned around, they had somebody handcuffed on his knees outside, right? Not unless they caught him with the gun. So my man GQ, that's when GQ comes. And GQ was running up on homeboy to, I guess, to beat him down, whatever. But they stopped him, and that's when we found out. And all of us, we stopped that. We hopped in the cars, went to the hospital. And that's when we found out he was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many times he get hit?
I didn't remember, man. Because nobody seen blood. He had eternal bleeding, so I don't remember.
Damn.
There was no blood. I remember that. And then he had a little bit of blood coming out in the car or not, but it was internal bleeding, but I don't even know, man. Giz, man, he was true story, true life. Giz lived across the hall from me. I mean, I lived in 9H. It was Gizmo and his brother was Power. You know what I mean? He lived across the hall. It was, I mean, this is terrible. It's some real joints, son. I've been there since day one, bro.
Rest in peace to Giz, man.
I mean, right across the hall. I mean, they used to beat us up, bro. They used to beat us up when we was young, like play with us in the hallway to toughen us up, chase us through the hallway from the 9th floor to the 1st floor, man. I mean, it's just real, man. Hell yeah, they used to beat it. Tony knows. R&B knows. Fucking Tony, yeah, excuse me, the F word, but he knows. He'll tell you, true story. Gizmo and Hog, they used to chase us, or this was all hanging outside. He used to chase us all through the hallways, man. And next you know, we look around the corner, here come his brother, they hitting us. Then they catch us, yo, they slam us on the floor, beat us down, just toughen us up, man. That was a sad moment that night, man. It was really sad.
So I'm guessing that Joe ended up taking care of the funeral and everything like that, because he was real close to Joe, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe, he took care of I don't know who did all that, but of course, yeah. Joe put him in one of his songs. He put him in a couple of his songs.
Yeah, man. Well, rest in peace to Gizmo, man. That's tragic, bro.
Yes, sir. Rest in peace, my Giz was, and now that dude right there, and I'm not just saying it, son. Giz was nasty. They used to call him the unbelievable man because he was so nice. His graffiti. Basketball? Untouchable. They called him unbelievable shots. This dude would do some crazy things. He was good at Giz was the man. And he used to make us all shirts. He'd sell shirts in the street. That's when graffiti and all that, man. He was nice, man. Giz was the man. Giz, rest in peace, man. That night shouldn't have happened, but, you know, it's whatever. It's God's choice, you know? It is.
So you said that you got stabbed 6 times. What happened?
Yeah. It's one night I was it was me and my man Mike. His name was Mike too. You know, he was a straight soldier. I was going to Southern Boulevard. You know, Southern Boulevard, you already know. That's like, Pistol Pete area, and Pistol Pete ain't got nothing to do with this, know what I mean? That's like, Bronx, I mean. That's like Southern.
Which Pistol Pete are we talking about? The black one or Terror Squad one?
Puerto Rican. Terror Squad. Yeah, because I used to I want to say that's Whole Avenue. That's like one of his blocks, his area, and I used to do some business down the block on the other side with some other people. I got some people, so I ain't gonna get on the chart. Know what I mean? And so one day, me and my man decided to go shopping. This is after Cuban getting stabbed, weeks later. This is after, that shit happened with me and Tony. Okay? So we was shopping. I turned around, son. I told my man said, yo, why those cars is following us? So we talking about. Next you know, I turn around, there's like dudes coming from up here. It's like about 6 dudes coming this way and about 5 dudes coming this way. I seen what cars it was. So right there, I already know.
So you recognize them?
Oh, yeah. I know it. Yeah. So, all we can do, me and my man, we went back to back. There's no way you can go, right? So, now, that day, we was feeling nice because we was already chilling. We was going shopping. We had 2 bangers. My man got cut in his face. And, it was still about 10, 11 dudes, yo. And we just went crazy on. I know I brought one of them down with me. That's no question asked because the cop told me that. And, they was trying to ask for, I don't know, I passed out and the people in the hospital because they said his side of his face, you know what I mean? I had his face, you know what I mean? I had his face in that concrete, man. The more they hit me, his face was in that concrete. Just, and next you know, I blinked out. I know I got hit with a blackjack. When I woke up, I was in the hospital, and that's when I got the story. But my man Mike, he was awake for the whole thing, and he gave me all the head focus. He just got cut in his face. But when I woke up, I had so many people in the hospital. Okay?
So where was all the places that you got stabbed?
Man, on the side, I don't know. My right. It was like they went that. Because they couldn't and they told me the leather jacket I had on that day
saved your life.
Yeah, that's when Echo came out. So it was like a reversible jacket. It was leather and the other side was fur. And the doctor told me if I wouldn't have had that jacket on because the puncture wounds was going through because it was an ice pick. It was 2 different knives.
Wow.
They was trying to take me out. No question on that. So, but I already knew, and ever since then, that's when I started finding some things out. It is what it is.
Going through something like that, right? Did it prompt you to want to change your life, or did it make you go harder in the other direction?
It's in between. It's in between. I mean, of course, you're gonna change your life. I mean, because you see who's around, you do your investigation, you see what happened, you see how it got played out, why it happened, you start finding all that out, then you do your sources, then you go back and go, wow, are you serious? That's why that shit happened, son? So this person did that because he said that and all that. It's like, okay, so it was on. Drama's on, you feel me? So I know who I am. So now I really got to keep my money up. I got to get things straight. So people say, like Tony said, people's out to, I ran from the block and all that. I ain't nobody run. I ain't leave nothing, man. Hours with me. I'm out there all the time, but I had to really go into a hibernation. I really did that. And then once I got stronger, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because now I am not the same Nonstop, not even 2 days ago. Every day I'm changing, but at the end of the day, I mean, back then I was a little crazy and wild. Now, I've always been real, always been. But now I just got wise and know how to use it, when to use it, because it's not something, some people's different. Like like I said, I watch the YouTubes. I'm a different person. I changed my life. I got kids. I got a wife. Yeah, so do I. But at the end of the day, yeah, you can take me out the hood, but the hood gonna stay in me. And you can't, your past, sometimes it follows you, it comes back. You don't have to go out there and do crazy things, but you have to build first. You have to build. You have to have some type of protection, some backup. I won't be sitting on there doing things. I would have never did, what I did and put that out there if I wasn't secure. You feel me? I would have never agreed with you and Cuban. But it's not even agreeing with y'all. Cuban's my G. He asked me to tell the truth, and I told the truth. That's when I did the first interview with you. It's nothing. Some people are like, yo, why you do that? You crazy. Sorry, why you get... It's not about that. It's just something that... What happened to me is unforgivable.
Right.
And the reason why it happened, unforgivable. And the person that it happened from because of what happened is unforgivable. So that's my choice. But it is what it is. But I tell you one thing, ain't nobody killing my family. Ain't nobody killing my family. My family's, they okay. I thank God they okay. I mean, people want to play, man. I got some gorillas, man. But my gorillas is family. This ain't no music thing. If I make my money, I mean, yeah, you're going to stay around because I make money. My money's going low. I got no albums. I'm going to blow it or not. It's not like that. My people's going to be there till it's gone. You understand? So at the end of the day, of course, I raised my granddaughter. I changed my way of thinking. I changed my way of moving. But if it comes, I mean, it is what it is. So I would never change, man, because it's just in me, because the things I have been through in life, and my kids is good now, and sometimes I ask myself that, and it's like, it's hard. I can't change who I am. This is who I'm meant to be. I'm not meant to be a goody nerd and be like, okay, let me be a family man. I am a family man. My wife is good. My kids is good. I do a husband things. I do a father things. But my boys is, my son Mikey, he's building a big team in the Bronx, and he got things on lock. But they know the streets and they know the books. That don't mean I got to sit back and just, oh, no, I'm not going to do this. I just want to be with the cross now and be a Christian. No, it don't work that way. Because I know people out there, I could be with my wife that'll still try me. What I'm going to do, fold? Nah, it's nothing like that. So I'm ready for whatever. And it's sad, but at the end of the day, I was good. I lived my life, but not too close as it is what it is. So,
Do you remember the moment that you found out that Pun had passed away?
Where was that when Pun passed away? Yeah, when I found out the Cuban. I mean, like, it started hitting the billboard. It started hitting, it spread like a virus. I mean, actually, I wasn't even in the state. I wasn't even in the state at that time because I didn't go to the funeral or nothing. I wasn't even in the area. I was out somewhere. I was on, where I was at. I want to say I was in the Bahamas. I was somewhere. But when I heard the noise, like, are you fucking kidding me? Man, the first thing I said, damn, I thought he was in Fat Farm, the camp thing. So I'm like, and they said it's heart attack. First thing came to my mind was my G Cuban. I was like, bro, I said, it's over now. I said, shit's gonna get real ugly now.
What made you think that?
Because I seen it happening. The way thing is, my man Pun was holding it together, man. And Cuban they was tight. I mean, everybody got along in the beginning.
Oh, so you started seeing the red flags already?
Oh, yeah, man. No, yeah. I mean, that was big time. I mean, that's, once Pun died, that's when it all hit the fan, bro.
Right.
That's when it came out.
But can you say what you saw that made you start to feel that way?
I didn't see nothing. I mean, I didn't see nothing on Zoom because after Pun died, I never seen Joe. I seen Cuban. And then, once that happened to Cuban that night and Jimmy, so it was a wrap.
But you were saying that you knew right when Pun died that this was like the beginning of the end, right?
Oh, yeah, because, Joe never liked Cuban from back then. They used to, he had some thing against Cuban, so I always thought I mean, just looking at Joe, ain't nobody else was gonna get on because now Pun is done. Joe's the captain. Everything goes to him, so he's gonna shine right now. He's gonna shine. That's it. Stop. Cuban, everybody stop. He has to put on show. It's like, wow. So, you know.
That's what I always said, though. I always said that Joe, he felt already like he had to step aside for Pun, right? Because Pun was super talented. But it was the money maker too, right? But then after that, he was like, man, I didn't step aside enough already. Now I'm not stepping aside for no one else.
Because I guess he gained his education level higher in writing, rapping. I don't know. But once Pun gone, I already knew it. I know Cuban wasn't going to get shot. Oh my God, say Tony still ain't get signed. He ain't come out with no album. I know they was gonna.
Well, they were already signed, but you knew that the albums wasn't gonna come out.
The albums wasn't coming out. I mean, it was just blackballing. I was looking for a 24 karat to come out. I was waiting for that because T-shirts was being promoted. We was promoting that hard, and that's when Cuban that shit happened and let us know. I said, "Oh, bro, you seeing it?" Next, you know, Joe blew up.
Right. So why didn't you go to the funeral?
Joe's funeral. Punch?
Yeah.
I wasn't here. I was in the Bahamas. And when I think it was the Bahamas, but.
You were living there?
No, man. I was on vacation. I was gone.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you I wasn't even in the state when he passed away, bro. Mm-hmm. When I heard about it, I was like, whoa, because that shit, it went viral quick, man. And, 600-pound man passed away. That's all over the world. Yeah. I mean, one, he's Hispanic. Platinum rapper. Come on. He made headlines, and my heart dropped. I was like, "Whoa!" It was quiet. It was not enough said. Ain't nothing you can say.
Can you talk about like one of your favorite memories with Pun?
Yeah, when that time sitting on the crate, man, when he asked me to go and get those 2 sandwiches for him. I bought those 2 heroes from him. And when I went in the store, I came out. I gave him the sandwiches. He said, "Yo, Nonstop." I said, "What up? I'm going to be a rapper." And that was it. And he started eating the sandwich.
Did you believe him?
Of course. Yeah, I believed him.
Because of like you heard him rap before? Or
yeah, he used to freestyle in the park. It was just something small, like when we playing spades, cards, whatever, in 23 Park. We used to have little sessions there, or we'd go to Littleville's and in the hallway. And we'd have those sessions in the hallway, and Cuban niggas basing on the wall, things like that, and they start freestyling. Niggas was dope. I told you, man, the first time, like Cuban, when he was cutting my hair, and he had his book open, on his dress, I opened it, and he went crazy. Y'all don't look at my rhymes. I said, "Yo, stop playing, man. I'm just looking like," and at that time, nobody can look at nobody rhymes, and niggas was stealing everybody's shit. So that shit was mad funny, but yeah, man, niggas already knew. My favorite shit with Pine was, first thing I heard, he said this in the hallway: "Cannibalism is living in my metabolism," right? And when he said, "I snatched the moon out the sky and blow the sun away," me and my brothers played hardball, strictly hardcore lyrics till I'm finished breaking God's laws. I was like, this man is, and they then the satanic, then the Satan, they was like disgusting and tune. When they started coming out with this rap full of clips, man, and 2 minutes, they was like spitting that devil stuff.
Horrorcore.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was sick. Miss it, man.
So you were referencing the halls of hell then, the times where you guys were rapping.
Halls of Hells was a shit because Halls of Hells around here, you'll look at that place, you'll never in 1,000 and many years think how hot that place is. You know what I mean? It's like Brook Ave, right? Brook Ave ranges from like 138 all the way up and 1 to like 146, 132. Drug area. That's what kind of on Boy George and all that. You know what I mean? They had even Fat Joe, they was out there, right? So you figure you got all that, right? I got lost in the track for a second. So, like, yeah, what were you saying? I'm crazy, right?
What do you mean?
I forgot what I was saying. Come back. What I was saying
about the halls of hell.
That's right. The halls of hell. Yeah, but the halls of hell, when we was in there, everybody was rapping. The halls of hell, And like that place, you will never expect how much drugs they pushed out of there. You will swear it was Brook Avenue, the traffic. That place became a cop's main spot, the halls of house. And it was like Louisville. It was only 2 floors, bro. You would never expect that because the type of place it was. But you have 100 niggas in that hallway. Everybody rapping. Halls of hell was a good, I mean, those are memories, right? I remember the last tracks Cuban did over there too.
Wow.
And this was after Pun. I mean, he's not a terrorist squad anymore. He Look at Me Now. You know that track, Look at Me Now?
Yeah, the samples, the what you call it? What's my man's name? I can't think of it right now. From the Police, not from the Police, right? Oh, Phil Collins. My bad, not the Police. Yeah, Phil Collins.
Yeah. Phil Collins. Yeah. That shit was pretty dope. Yeah, that shit was dope, man.
Yeah,
those Louisville's was dope. I had a lot of.
But earlier you were saying that you were going to tell a crazy story about Pun. Was that the story that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, no, there's one more. I mean, this is the crazy story. This is a solid story how strong he is, right? We'll all be out in the corner. I mean, right there in front of the bulldog, I sitting on the crates. He'll say, let's play stack 'em. But fuck you mean, let's play stack 'em. Pun go against the wall, son. He'll lean against the wall like this. All right, spread his legs. Each of us will go across the street in front of the store. He'd be in the building. We'll run, climb on his back. The next person will run, climb up his back. Yo, son, we'll build it all the way to 4 people. Yo, Punter, move. We're all 4. Crazy. And we'll do it again. And this is a day on a Friday or Saturday we all get drunk, son. I'm not even kidding you. Punter lean on the wall. The next person go, run with the back. The next person, we'll get up to like 3 or 4. Yo, Punter move, everybody 4. Yo, son, it'll be crazy, bro. Now, that day, that was some crazy story because it shows how strong this dude is. And you got different sizes on his back. Pun was a beast. And that day, man, it's like, those are memories I have, man. And, you know, I never forget one time he was sitting on the bench. And he's like, yo, let's go play some basketball. And then he starts snapping it. He's like crazy shit. He was like a goofball. He'd catch you all the time. Yo, do it again. You be like, what? He'd be like, he started that crazy stuff. So I'm like, wow. So, you know, good memories though, man. A lot of good memories. See, my memories to me is special because, you know, it's before that music.
Right.
I'm not even kidding you. It's way before the music because if anybody could say, I mean, anything is fixable these days. Certain things is fixable. Saying, let me rephrase that. I mean, but, you know, if you go back and go in my shoes, that's when everybody got along. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, sometimes you get mad on a Friday, you get mad at each other, won't talk for that whole day, but the next day, we're back together. That's how we know we was all brothers, man. It was real. That's because, and it goes to show you, money changes everything.
It was more innocent at that time.
To me, I'm going to be honest, though, how I seen it, when that money came in, I was like, wow. I grew up with Terror Squad, the originals, you understand? I was trained by them, you understand? They taught me about the streets, Power and Gizmo. They taught me how to keep it real. They taught me how to box. They taught me what to do, you know, things like that. So just looking at that back then is so overwhelming. Like, that's the good times. So, and then what come in between that? Money. Money destroyed the whole original Terror Squad, bro. I mean, they're not even there no more. So it's like, it's not fun no more. That's why I can say I'm holding my good memories. Those are my memories. Not hanging out with 1,000 chicks or doing the triz and all that. Yeah, whatever, man. Man, I already did all that shit with Cuban and all that, but those are my memories. And that's what I'm keeping my memories with, Cuban, Pun, all of them.
So would you say that you were one of the original members in Terror Squad then, the street team? Like, were you a part of that or you were just like raised by them?
No, I was raised by them. I was the original PM mob, man. Posse.
Gotcha, okay.
I mean, like we said too, right there, old joint, Posse none. So, nah.
What was your reaction to the first interview we did? How do you think the fans responded to that?
I already told you, man. Some was saying some crazy shit. Yo, I can you smack that too? You and like I said, we had to correct them on the live when we did that. And don't y'all pay attention. We was all the same age. Now, you just heard my story today on how we grew up. We was tight, man. We was tight. I mean, I don't care what people say, man. Homo shit. Oh, yeah, damn. I mean, you got so much of that in the industry now. It's far from that. So the fans, people like that, the comments, you got some real ones, some fake ones. It doesn't bother me. That's everybody's opinion. I'm not mad at the ones that judge negatively, that judged it negatively. No, I'm not mad at them. I mean, why should I be mad at them? That's their opinion. I look at, okay, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. It is what it is.
So what do you think about when people say that it's not a funny thing, a funny situation? But I think that like the reason...
What's not a funny situation? I mean, like, what do you mean? They got to be more specific. What's not a funny situation?
Like, the way that, you know, we've kind of laughed at the situation and people have made fun of Tony for that. There are people that say that that's not funny because that's like a violation. Like if that were to happen to somebody else, it wouldn't be funny.
What do you mean by that? I mean, if it happened to him,
if it happened to a woman, it wouldn't be funny, right?
Why would it be? I mean, that means if it happened to why would it happen to a woman?
I'm just saying though, like, because then that would be considered like that's why, like, I mean, all of it is that, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, people view it differently. They're like, I think that people are laughing because it happened to Tony specifically because he kind of puts it on himself, like the way that he talks. He kind of like makes him out to be this type of guy.
Again, look at. All right, so what's the difference if you punch somebody in the face? What's the difference of if I would have just slapped them? Because I'm known for just slapping people first.
Yo, that's a real difference. Come on. Like, there's not many stories, but there's not many stories
that's
about
my
somebody.
Weapon too. That's my weapon too. For that day, that was my weapon.
Yo, no, stop. You tripping, okay? You can't act like that was your nunchuck or something like that you just pulled out. It just happened to use, okay? You don't hear a lot of stories about somebody doing something like that, okay?
Of course not.
Yeah.
But that day, like everybody asks you, what came to your mind? I can't tell you and begin what came to my mind that day. That shit was so many years ago. Only thing I know, I can visualize it. Visualize him, people in the room, faces is blurry, but I know exactly. You played me, son. You played me. Yep. You
right,
played.
But what I'm saying though is that people would say like if you slap them with your hand, that's just. But if you using your joint, that's what they're saying.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Ain't no. Get out of here. I mean, they want. I mean, you gotta. You know, how's that? I mean, he let it happen.
But I think the way that Cuban told the story is what made it even more funny, though. Because, you know, he's so animated. He's a character. So, like, the way that he did the... and, like, just, like, you know, like, it just kind of made it so much more, like, over the top that made it funny, right? But I got a question for you, though, okay? So, did he become Spanish Fly after the incident because he flew?
Yo, man, there you go. Some shit, but yeah, I guess, man. You know, I can't. I keep hearing they say like that shit just so funny.
So after it happened, right? Did he start talking like this?
Took all the bass out of his voice, right?
Yeah, you gotta stop, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about, though, for real.
All right. But you were talking about that you guys were so close, right? So if you guys were so close as brothers and everything, why would you think to do something like that to your own brother, though? Like, that's like the biggest violation.
I told you, in that period of time, it was all brothers. That was way before the music, right? You understand?
I know, but what made you feel like not
because
just like get your ass up and we gonna fight like this? What made you take it to that extent? Because that seems like the point of no return.
I don't know. Like I said, that day, you know, we was all drinking, right? And we was chilling. And then he said something I ain't like. He did something I ain't like. And then I know it was something verbal, was going back and forth. And I said, what? you so, you know.
Right. We know the story. We don't have to go into that part.
So it just went on from there. He got down. You won't. Mad people's dead. So I don't know.
But you said though that you don't have any regrets about that situation.
I think regret is the wrong word. I mean, as a child, you know, if I can go back, I'd probably do it different.
Well, you guys weren't children at the time though. I mean, like, but
no.
I guess what? Like being like 18, you still consider yourself really young though. You know what I mean? Like
still young, but I mean, I don't know. I don't regret it. I'll go back. If I change it, I would knock him out. I probably would, you know what I mean? You know, I probably would destroy him. I'll break him up and really embarrass him. And you know what I mean, that day, I don't know. It was more of the chicks and I really wanted to embarrass him because he played me that. I don't know. My mind just got crazy, son.
Okay, what about this? If it wasn't in front of the girls, do you think that it would have been a different story? But because if it was in front of the girls.
Yeah, because the girls was there. I wanted to embarrass them. Yeah, it's because of the girls was there. I don't know. That came to my mind. You know what I'm saying? The girls was there, so I wanted to embarrass them in front of the girls. Yeah, that's exactly what it is because the girls was there. But if the girls wasn't there, you know, it's one thing you have to, now you with your dudes. You know what I mean? Now we inside the room, right? Nobody outside going to see this. So now let's get it popping. Because we used to go and take the elevator rides. We get in the elevator, send the elevator up. We duking it out in the elevator. And we all coming back down. And next you know, we're going to the store get a 40. Tony never did nothing like that. Tony never fought. You know what I mean?
So we know what led up to but after the slap and the airbender, what ended up happening? Did you guys just carry on and acted like nothing happened at all?
You keep asking the same question, Panda. It was the same fucking thing, right? And it happened. Everybody said, whoa. People ran out the door, ran downstairs. Everybody screaming. Everybody know the party.
You've actually never answered this part. You never said like exact. No, you never said what happened like after it.
I mean, he started doing this and all that crazy stuff. He woosah, and everybody started going crazy and opened up the door and started running out yelling and out of.
He ran out the building?
No, well, a couple of people when we started going downstairs because we all went outside. Like, I think it was a party in the house. We was doing something, but Al's sister, Araceli, man, she went on like, yo, no, stop just slapping. It was mad people in the living room. I mean, it was people in the living room. We was just in the room. And she went out there, and that's when everybody found out, dude. They seen him. I don't know what happened. Araceli, man, she spoke to him that day, but I know, you know, he just, I don't know, man. He wanted to, I don't know. That was it. And me, we just kept drinking.
All right, but what happened the next day? Did you talk to him like it was normal?
Nah, he just, you know, the next day he was like, yo, that's some fucked up shit. That's some fucked up shit. Because we was outside now, and you know what I mean? Everybody was outside talking about it. You know, we all like, yo, Nonstop, you crazy, this and that. And some people understood, and they was like, yo.
The people that were there were talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
People was talking about, yeah. From the block. It was in the block. It was in Al's house. So, you know.
Did it start to spread to the rest of the hood already?
Man, that shit spreading like a virus. The next day, and it's still spreading. And when he got on, I now punning them. I don't know how they found out. You know, Cuban probably, but I don't know how that side. But on my side, yeah. And then all of a sudden, then it was just quiet. Then it just faded away.
Because Toom, when I interviewed him, he said that like he got a call or something like that, and he was told what happened, and he started laughing. He thought it was funny.
Man, roll the clip.
So, what was your reaction when you heard about that?
I was laughing. It was funny. You know, that's the reaction. It's funny shit. You know, like you can see like I could see Nonstop mad. You know what I'm saying? Like he was being cock blocked and being, you know, like, yeah, do it, nigga. And then him being, yeah, if Cuban was there, I'm sure Cuban was like on the side, like you know what I'm saying? Like, do it. And pressured them to do it. And he did it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would see the situation, because these are guys that I came up with and I know their fucking intents and what they do and things like that. So
Nonstop is definitely crazy enough that he would do something like that.
It's not about being crazy. It's just that Nonstop wasn't a pussy dude either. You know what I'm saying? He's not, you know, dude from the block. You know what I'm saying? He'll stand on his toes. You know what I mean? He was standing on his two toes. Two toes. We got 10 fucking toes. He was standing on his 10 toes. But I don't, like I said, I don't see a reason why he would lie about that. And everybody that was there that said the same story, because it wasn't only him that said the story.
So you heard from other people
Cuban
that told you?
Yeah,
too.
I heard from from Cuban and one of the girls that was there.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, come on now. That shit is like that. They gonna all call. I mean, everybody in the block. If something happens the night before, everybody the next morning is finding out because we all hang out together. One person's gonna tell this person tell this person, then we all in front of us. Something like, yo, you know what happened to Jazz last night? Yo, this nigga got locked up last night. Yo, this nigga Tony got slapped with a last night, son. Everybody's talking about it, you know? And so it's like the next day, man. I mean, I don't know.
Was your guys' relationship after that, like, or friendship, better word, sorry. Was your guys' friendship after that weird? Like, you know how
I mean, didn't I tell you he did the show for me? He came out for me. He started making money.
But I mean, like at first though, right? Because you know how like when like a guy and a girl, they're friends and they end up like sleeping together is weird after they're trying to act like it doesn't happen.
He trying to be fucked.
Were you guys like, were you guys just like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, were you guys like acting like it didn't happen at that point? You know?
No, come on, man. What do you mean acting like it didn't happen? They spoke about it. That was it. I mean, they did it. I mean.
So his words after that was just like, that's
he
messed
didn't
up.
talk to me, bro. He didn't speak to me. He didn't speak to me for a couple of days. But actually, he stood inside the fucking house. He wasn't outside. Tony never really hung outside. And especially after that dude, he never was outside, bro. He didn't hang outside like that. He didn't hang in the corner with us. Tony never hung out there, bro. There's no lie. He'd come through. He'd come from outside, maybe 5-10 minutes, and he never hung like that until he started getting on. That's when he started really hanging out.
Could you apologize to Tony?
Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? What's wrong, bro? Fuck out. All those steroids he take, I punch that in his chest, give him a heart attack.
Okay,
bro.
so you see it too then? You see the steroids too?
Oh, come on, man. God bless him, man. I just hope he don't catch no fucking... You gotta be natural, son. Gotta be natural. Nigga, I box 137, then 152. You gotta be natural. That's nothing. Stop. Those steroids is gonna kill him, bro. You gotta stop.
It's interesting because you know how like you could tell somebody's body type, right? Like they're like really like slender, like he's supposed to be like real thin, right? So like it looks real unnatural when you get that buff. You know
That's
what I mean?
Tony was always like me. Yeah, he was with me. We all get side, this and that, but he's way beyond now. I mean, he's using those steroids to help him. And those steroids just messing up his mind and got him convinced that he's really the god and he's tough and it's not cool. I watch a lot of things. I hear a lot of things and I see a lot of things. But he need to slow down, man. I mean, when his album's dropping?
I don't know. He said that he's supposed to put a single out finally in a few weeks, and then he's thinking about dropping the album finally. I don't know. But I mean, we're talking about 25 years now. You know what I'm saying?
Who's promoting it? Who's promoting that shit?
I think he's signed to Empire. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Empire?
Yeah, the distribution.
Yeah.
I don't know though. But I heard that he said that he's going to release a Spanish album and an R&B album. But I don't know. He was supposed to put the Spanish album out last year in the summer, but it didn't happen. I don't think he was getting a lot of attention like he thought he was going to get, because I caught him buying views for his videos and shit like that.
For real?
Yeah.
You lying to you.
No, I'm being honest. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You go.
Because if you look at his YouTube page, he doesn't really have that many subscribers and he doesn't really get that many views. Then like if you go to like the tracking for like a certain, amount of views that you get and stuff, you can see like one day he got like 80,000 views. So, and then like the next day he got like, you know what I mean? But he averages like 100 something views per day and stuff. So when you got that much, you could tell it's bought. Somebody bought that. And then you can look at the actual comments, like the amount of ratio, the comments and the likes and stuff like that to the views. Then you know it's bought.
Son, that's crazy, son.
But everybody does this shit now, which is sad, bro. When you look at it, like it's almost like a promotion thing, like people try to do. Like,
yeah, but why? I mean, Q
But
does that?
even if you look at his Instagram, right? He got like over 100,000 subscribers and shit like that. It don't add up, bro, because like he don't really get that much traction. And then you go to his Spotify and he only got like a small amount of monthly listeners that don't add up to that. You know what I mean?
I mean, back in the days, his voice was all right, but now, I mean, he should have been. He had a couple of deals back then, and he should have took them too. They should have took him instead of being you know what I mean? He had an option, man. He could have blown. Tony could have been big. He could have been big.
Let me ask you this though, okay? So you said that you had a diss track to Tony. What happened with that?
Really, what happened?
Well, tell us about the diss track.
Well, that's when I came out the hospital, whatever.
After the stabbing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, you know, I wrote about a lot of things in that track. And check it out. That track was fire. Like, if I wanted to write it right now, you know what I mean, to rewrite it, I'll rewrite it. And it starts off fire, yo. And whoever knows me that's online who heard that track, this is Tony, my man Seville, we even remixed it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Seville Cartel. You know what I mean? We even remixed that track. Son, I put my telephone number on it. And I started giving it out in my hood. And I gave it out to certain people that I know to get back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it got back to him. And I got a phone call. I wish I still had the phone. And I got a phone call from Charlie Rock. He said, yeah. Yo, this is Charlie Rock, LD. Yo, yeah. Tony, son, I heard that track you got from. I heard it. Yeah. I'm gonna come see you. Let that man see himself. And that shit, I was every day. I never seen him. Never seen him.
So obviously that's when Charlie was riding with Terror Squad after he got out.
That's when he came home and all that. He just came home.
Yeah.
That's no cap. Just came on, and I gave that track to a girl named Maria Cuban. I let Cuban hear that shit in his house. That track had a lot of pain in it. That shit was deep. That shit was real, son. I got in that boy's ass that day. I'm like,
Pause.
I got in this, pause. Definitely pause. pause. Right. But that track, you know what I mean? It was fire. It was fucking fire. And I never forget, Charlie read my voice and he left the voicemail. And I checked the voicemail and I was with my peoples and we was dying. Because I made that track right next door to where Full Flex, right? Full Flex, rest in peace, because I had drama with him, Fat Joe's manager. We all grew up together, but I ended up catching drama with him, right? But right next to where Full Flex lived, one of his girl, baby, I don't know, at that time, my homeboy studio was right there, right? And I recorded it right there. You get what I'm getting?
Yeah.
So I gave it out in that hood because I knew people, and my man that recorded it, he started spreading the words, and he knew them. So he supported everything I did. He was like, I said, put it out there, son. And I knew it was going to catch attention. And it ain't like I was selling it. I was giving it out. Told people, yo, listen to it.
So did you ever get word back from Tony directly?
No. But
not even through other people, like how his reaction was or how he felt?
Nope. Nah, and nobody ever told me nothing. And I don't think I ever asked, to be honest. But everybody in the block, man, that heard that track, everybody heard it. It was like fire. And it was fire. I got in there, but I never heard a response from it. Probably because, of course, you know how people do. When you get money like that, you ain't going to give a little Pepe, a little dude like me, no shine. You know what I mean? You want me to stay to the bottom because you up there, you think. I'm rich inside, but it's all good. So why would you pay mind to that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, of course, he ain't paying no mind to me, but everybody else did. Everybody knew because I was telling the truth. And that's when I started telling the truth about Tony in that track. Tony the phony, I slapped you with my jaboni, you phony. This is for the real niggas. Woo! That track is fire, Panda. That track is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
So what happened with you and Fat Joe's manager, Flex?
Flex was another dude, rest in peace. We used to do business. Like, I used to, like part of Fat Joe and all that, and started hanging with Cuban. It's like pick a side. This is one thing after. After Cuban, You know, the same thing as after Jimmy's. It's like sides. We all grew up. So, and after that shit happened in the studio with Tony, you understand? Full Flex was there that day. So they went back and pretty much said, they probably went back, they went back, told Full Flex and that I told Cuban that about the track they did. I mean, I'm not gonna let my G get hurt again, my G. I mean, why would they? I mean, I don't know now. I don't know who's playing sides. My man just got hit up, in Jimmy's, right? And then you go do that. Now, whose side you playing? So what? Now my man I gotta watch. Now I gotta watch you. Now you gotta watch. Come on, son. Yeah, but I guess loyalty, that's what loyalty do to you, right?
So was it real problems or was just more of like, hey, we not rocking with you anymore?
I mean, it's pretty much like that. That's why, like, not just rocking with you, because after that happened and we heard the track, that was it. It was done. And that's when everything really separated. 20 and Buck Fifth was together. Thank you. You okay? Tony and Buck Fifth was together, and son, when that happened, man, it's like I seen the devil, and that's when Full Flex, they told Full Flex, and I seen Full Flex one day, right? Actually, in the gas station, I pulled up in the gas station. I was with Heribone and my driver. You right? You know Heribone?
No.
She used to rap with Cuban, yo. She used to be down with COK. She was the girl. She was the queen. She was top. Ask Cuban about Heribone, whatever. I don't know how I'm quite sure the relationship was good because she's out there in Florida too, but because that's Al shorty. Okay, so she's a real chick. But it was like, this is what I'm saying. I was playing behind the scenes. So I used to protect her. You know what I mean? Because she's part of Cuban. We did some shows in Connecticut. I went out to all the shows a couple of times. We had to do some things, whatever. And one time we I said, yo, stop in the gas station. Let's get, I needed some White House. We was on our way to Cuba's house, back to Cuba's house. And I guess Flex must have seen me in the car, pulled up. Then he jumped out this truck. He jumped out with a baseball bat. He swung it at me. I took off to catch some feet. Come on, man, I'm not gonna get hit with a baseball bat. So when I ran a couple of feet, I started like, yo, drop the bat. Drop the bat. I fucked you up. Excuse my language. And then he started hitting the telephone. I'm gonna kill you, Niles. I'm gonna kill you. And that's when I knew it was all because of sides, man. We switched. It's not even playing sides. We all grew up together. What's right is right. I grew up with Cuban before any of this music crap. So my man get cut up. My man gets hurt. I'm a side. He never did me wrong.
Right.
He never did me dirty. I don't know what happened between you. I don't know what happened between you. I don't know if you hung out. I don't know what happened to this. I don't give two shits. But I know how I did. It is crazy. I never got into an argument with him. I was the only real dude to stay in this G house out of OPN. Cuban opened the door so many times doing different things. I built his whole attic. Not built it, but did his whole attic over there, refinished it, refined it. That thing looked it. And that's when, what's her name? She used to sing on his track, Veronica or something like that?
Yeah, Veronica.
That's when I met her and she seen it and I just was finished. I had the mask on. His shit was dope, son. I turned that attic from an attic to a big bedroom.
All right, wait, but what happened with Flex in that situation after he hits the phone?
I knew he was going back to that. You excited, boy?
Well, the fans are gonna want to know, bro.
Ain't nothing happened. He kept hitting it. He jumped in his truck, and then we jumped in my truck, and then we sped off because he probably was doing. We had no can that night, so he was running to the car. So I don't know what he was running for. He probably was going to get the can. I don't know. It was real.
Oh wow! So he decided to take off.
No, when he was hitting the telephone with the bat, and I started yelling, drop the bat, I'll fuck you up, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, he ain't dropped the bat. He's like, what? Then he started running to the car, running to his truck.
But that's what I mean. Okay, got you.
Yeah, he ran to his truck. So I ran to the car I was with Heribone. So we didn't have the can that night. And that's dumb of me because all the shit that's going on. So we took off and You know, I don't know if he stood there, whatever the case may be.
How'd you feel when he passed away?
It hurt my heart because I started thinking about the good things. I mean, that ain't the first time, you know, that was like, I told you, this money, this music shit changed things, man.
Yeah.
That's when all the drama started happening, because before this music shit, you know, everybody had their little feelings about each other, but it was nothing like it is. So when he passed away and died of a heart attack, son, I was like, you know, it hurt it, but then I was like, you know,
Wasn't it because he was taking steroids or something? I think that's what Cuban said.
Yeah, he was taking steroids. Everybody, because his heart couldn't handle it, but Flex always had a bad heart. So I heard that. So I don't know. I never seen him take. I heard the same thing. It's just like that. I don't know that. And I guess everybody want to be big these days. Can't be natural.
That's crazy.
But they told me he had a heart attack, and I was like, word. Damn. Hey, it was sad, but you know, it is what it is.
What did you think when Tony said, if that situation really did happen, then he would have killed your whole family?
Tony knew how to get down. Tony knew I was well connected in the street. Tony knew there ain't no shit like that. Tony was saying that to throw everybody off, that it didn't happen, okay? Tony, you ain't killing shit. Even at that time, that man wasn't killing nothing. Ain't nobody killed my whole family. I didn't even know what family I had. You understand? You ain't killing my Italian folks. You crazy? They'll put you on the ground. You know where I was coming from. I mean, who you was going to kill? In that case, they would have been dead the next day, the next month. I mean, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, something, right? That happened so many years ago. Now, if you wait until now to do it and the steroids got you on that, do what you got to do. You know? But you got to be careful what you say, son, because I guess he said that just to be, you know, to show people, like, I guess the next person to hear that, oh, okay. He said that if that would have happened, you know what I mean, he'd kill his whole family, and they'd believe that it didn't happen. I don't know, but he shouldn't even be talking like that. The kid never had a fight in his life. Now, probably, yeah. I mean, that's what steroids do to you.
It's kind of crazy that he said that, but obviously it was to like save face, right? Like, and I don't know, man, that's just something crazy to say, because like your family has nothing to do with it. Like, I don't think you should bring in somebody's family, you know?
Nah. See, I took that, I ain't gonna say I took it personal, because I think, you know, I think outside the box, because I don't know if I guess he wanted to touch. My family ain't got nothing to do with this. I would never bring, you know, his mom was cool, bro. I mean, his sisters, I know, you know,
right.
We know more. I would never, right now, his mom's forever like, oh my God, they, you know, turn it over in the grave. Like, if you look at one of the comments, right? His name was Victor. I want to say Victor. But he owned the video shop right there on 6 and 10 that we all know. I'm not too sure, but he said in the comments, I know these guys. I grew up with these guys. In the first video, I think he did. And one of those interviews, I think it was the interviews that we did, me and you did. And he commented in it. And he used to have the video shop at 166 and 10. Mm-hmm. And he knows how far it goes back. You understand? So for Tony to come out and say that, he knows what it is. And me and Tony's two different people. I'm a street person. Tony is far from that. But now, I don't know. He's just getting straight because money changes you. He has his little thing, man. He has, I guess, you fame. I don't know what you want to call it. But I would never talk dirty about his kids, all 1,000 of his kids, his baby mamas, nobody, because they don't got nothing to do with this. I'm going to keep it real. I'm an old school G, like the mob, bro. Like, you know, you got to respect the principles. It's just the street level. What the hell they got to do with this, you know? But that's okay. You know, you kill my whole family, huh? It's cool. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, man. I
think it's the steroids talking too. You feel me? I ain't gonna, you know, I can't say I'm a killer for saying that, because that's immature. But, you know, Tony, it is what it is. We ever see each other, you know, just, you know, you knuckle up, nigga. I mean, we can shoot the 5, whatever. I mean, to get this angle off of that, I mean, I don't know if this ever can be fixed. I mean, and this will never be fixed. I'm not trying to fix it. And if it is, it is. It ain't, it ain't. Because he done said too many things right now. He done too many things. It's nothing fixing up.
Did you guys ever have a conversation after the studio incident where you heard the slicing thing? Like, did you ever have a conversation with Tony?
No.
So when was the last time you spoke to him?
Who, Tony?
Yeah.
Damn, son. That's crazy. The last time I spoke to Tony, I was still living in the forest, though. He was on, damn, no, I was in Academy Gardens. I'm trying to think. Damn, son. A minute. I don't know.
But it was after the studio session?
Nah. Yeah, because that's when, you know, it wasn't even, like, he didn't say nothing. It was Buck Fifth I seen. Then he was like, yo, he was going to tell Cuban he, you know, was going to do it. And then Tony, I never seen him. Like, he never said nothing about it because I already know what he did. You know, he went and told Flex and that, you know, I told Cuban. So that's how the drama started with me and Flex. You see, you putting it together?
Yeah.
Out in the wave. So that's how it started. Because that then, you know, a lot of things, I'm not going to set my, you know what I mean? I'm in a bad position in the studio. You know what I mean? I got no can on me. I mean, because I'm with, you know, we brothers. You know, we still brothers. I mean, I don't know the story what happened in Jimmy's. I know you was going to play sides either. You feel me? So my G asked me to come out with her, go to the studio. I seen all that, man. They just threw me the wrong way. And I was like, are you kidding me, son? Word? So that's how that went down. Yeah.
So at that point, there was just no reason to have a conversation anymore. There was no reason to talk about that actual incident.
No, because what I'm gonna talk about it for? I already knew. I knew he went back and told Flex and them. I already knew it was on and popping. It was a green light. So that's when that shit happened with Flex. I don't know how long. It could have been weeks later. I don't know how long from that time to when that shit happened with Flex. But it was after it. I mean, that's when it all started. You know what I mean? That's when the drama, okay, he's fucking with Cuban this, that, and that. He want to roll with that nigga, this, so, I mean, so.
So obviously it was kind of like, not only did you betray Cuban, now you trying to sick them on me too.
Yeah, exactly. Because he went and told him, you know what I mean, about that. So, you know, that shit was some fucked up shit. And just loyalty and just, it wasn't even, my loyalty is already stand. It's not even about that, right? It was that you had to hear it, son. You had to hear it. And I guess that was the love I have for my nigga. I mean, like, we was all brothers, man. We was brothers, man, growing up. So as little kids growing up, I mean, young growing up, it's like we held each other down. So I felt pain when I heard that. I knew what they was talking about. I mean, I know what they was talking about.
I think what you're talking about right now is when you know something is wrong and you just can't stand by it no matter what. Like, you feel it in your body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just feel it to your core of like, yo, this is fucked up. Like, I can't be a part of something like this. Like, no matter how much money is involved, nothing like, and for you to see Tony's being present, even if he's not the one recording and saying stuff, but like you condoning it, right? Because you're accepting it.
Yeah, he was condoning, but Buck Fifth, and Buck Fifth was saying the words.
Right.
Like, It's like, yo, son, yo, stop playing. Did I hear what I heard? And then they, like, you know how you play it back, do the game, shit like that. And that's when I walked up. It's like, yo, let go. I went downstairs and called my driver, yep. And I was gone. And my driver came too. He was a crazy Dominican, you know, crazy. And word up, he was my boy. But you know what? I never forget, man. Well, you know, I speak Spanish. And like Cuban said, I hung out with so many Puerto Ricans. That's how I learned how to speak Spanish. I'm not even kidding you. I just hung out with Puerto Ricans. But my driver, he told me, he never liked the two people I hung out with every day in my camp. And I used to take him to Cuban's house. It's like, you watch it with them two. Those two, he had a bad feeling because he was really into Santero. You know what that is? Like the
Santeria?
Yeah, Santeria. He was really into that. He was Dominican, yo. And he used to always tell me, if Santa is telling him, these two people is no good for me. They're going to use you. They just using you for your money. Nobody understood how I got money, but I used to pick them up every day because I felt we grew up together. It's my G's. I'm going to put them on my way, right? Yeah, they did me dirty, man. So I never forget that day. So I was like, wow. Cuban can verify that. I used to go to Cuban's house all day in Jersey. From the Bronx to Jersey, man, my driver picked me up, take us there, he'll stay there. It was crazy, man. It was nice. That's when it was good, man. Nobody, and I didn't make money with Cuban. Cuban to throw, I made some money with Cuban but all the money that was just me, and that's how a lot of people was. But I was mainly watching people around, new faces. It was crazy, son. But we had some good times. So we had good times, right? We rolled deep, man. You got some real niggas, you know what I mean? Salute to GQ, man. That G come home, man. GQ's a real G, man. That dude come home, man.
Oh, you talking about GQ?
Hey, man.
Behind the walls.
Right,
yo,
man.
He's crazy. Yo, man, shout out to GQ, bro.
Word up, GQ, man. I'm trying to think of I was with him. I mean, we went out to a couple of shows of the Cuban shows. I'm trying to see if we had any crazy moments. I never had a crazy moment with GQ because he was from YO. You know what I mean? I had some people's up in YO. I mean, we went to a club in there one day, right? And matter of fact, me, GQ, and Cuban. We went out there. It was BB. First we went to BB King's in Manhattan. Cuban went down there and started speaking to, I think it was some dude from Jodeci. And I think it was Jodeci, boys or somebody. But he's and BB King's. We ate there. So after that, we chilled, whatever day. He did his business and his meeting. And we left there. So we headed back up to Yonkers to a club. So I had that COK track, right? I went up to the DJ, son. Yo, throw that on, yo. Hey, I hope he ain't want to play it, yo. Yo, son, he ain't want to play it. GQ said, yo, put that on, man. He looked at GQ, said, yo, all right. I said, yo, it took for my man to come? I said, yo, put that on, bro. He said, yo, that's Cuban though shit, right? I said, yo, put it on. And GQ said, yo, you hurt me, bro. Yo, son started shaking and put it on, man. That was that track, Cuban, you know what I mean? He made COK, welcome to COK.
Oh, the diss track.
Oh, yeah. So at the end, like the club, I know it was like two dudes in, and I had the baby 25 on me that night. So I got up in there with it. So me, GQ, and Cuban, we jumped in the car. I was in the back seat. There's somebody else. I think it was GQ's man, some skinny talk. Respect to him. I forgot his name, but it was somebody else there. And Cuban was like, yo, he was in the front. Cuban was in the front seat. So I guess a bunch of people started recognizing Cuban's face, and they already know the drama because it's like fresh. So people started saying some sly shit to Cuban out the door. And Cuban said, yo, give me the thing. Give me that little thing. This nigga clocked and backside. I said, yo, Q, don't do it. So he said, what happened? He put it on the thing and he was going to throw a shot at him. I said, yo, just chill. That shit was crazy at GQ, man. That night was good, man. I never forget that night, man.
Wait, so he put the gun on the dashboard and like people saw it?
Nah, like his arm was on the window.
Oh, right. And he held the gun.
Because I passed it to him on the side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And homeboy didn't see it. So when I slid it to him in the hair, like he slid his hand up, that's it. Like he clocked his back. He was clocking. He slid his hand up. He was like, yeah. And homeboy was like getting a little reckless, but not too reckless. So, we was just being on point. But Q instead of me, but Q was going to just, pop him in his face with it, but, throw that bullet at him real quick if he was acting up. Because a lot of people was hating, after that. He was like, oh, but then he got a lot of love from people too.
But what was the guy's reaction when he did that?
Oh, no, he came out and said, nah, I ain't got no problem, something like that. Nah, you love this and that and all that. So it's like, I didn't know the purpose of it, but when I did that, and everybody said that shit was mad funny, son. It was funny, yeah. But I never forget, hey, GQ, man, he was like, yo, you heard my man, put that shit on, bro.
So basically you guys were pressing the DJ because he was already getting blackballed at that time.
Yeah, GQ press. Me, I was going, I'm just wild. Yo, put that on. And nah, what's that? I said, that's my nigga Cuban. Nah, I ain't playing. What? Yo, GQ, he put that on too. Now, me, GQ, he put that on. And that's it, you know me. So I stood right there next to the DJ, bro. Stood in his section and waited till the song finished.
Wow.
That was a good night too. And that night we ended up going to get something to eat and was back in Cuban's crib, and I don't know, some chick came through. I don't remember. I passed out in this house. I went to sleep on a bunk bed. One of the bunk beds got in there. I ain't even gonna lie.
So there was a situation at a club where you were with Smooth the Engineer, Cuban, Dren Star, and I think PD Crack. You guys got into it with BX Hova's group. What happened in that situation?
And Sue's, huh? Sue's rendezvous. Sue's.
Was it Sue's? I don't know if it was Sue's.
Wasn't it Sue's?
I don't think it was Sue's. Well, I might be wrong though, but
What do you mean, with Dren Star?
yeah, where like you and Dren Star got into it with BX Hova.
Yeah, and fucking Sue's, bro. It was Cuban's birthday. Whole birthday? Not
I
sure.
think it might have been Smooth's birthday, right?
Nah, I think it was Cuban's birthday, yo.
Okay.
I think it was Cuban's birthday. I mean, Dre was beyond drunk that day, yo. And even me was feeling nice, but he was a little. And then I don't know how it started. And I want to say it was over a chick. Dre was always, I mean, he was, Dre, you know, when shit was cool, he used to do some wild shit. He wouldn't be performing, right? I'll be on stage while he performing me. I'm watching, I turn around, this nigga Dre back there. To, you know what I mean, getting head, doing whatever, man. He do some wild shit with some chicks, right? So, but that night, I guess he messed with the wrong chick or he said something to, I don't know how it started. Only thing I know, I see him tumbling. Now look, oh! So we started wilding. I put some niggas started wilding. But for some, they wanted to get him. I don't know why they wanted to eat him. And that's when, you know, Smooth them. They popped up. We ended up outside. This is my version of Smooth and Cuban. They thumping with dudes on the side right there. Me, Dren is knocked out. You know what I mean? They hit him with a bottle inside. Then somebody, they hit him with a blackjack inside. Something. He got hit twice. And that second time, that's it. So I'm standing there. Then some dude came, and Smooth don't remember this, but I can't believe he'll remember after this. But some dude came, he came to the side, and I cracked him because he tried to run up on Smooth. I cracked. Smooth and Cuban started chasing dudes down the block because that's when Peter Crack, you know what I mean, they pulled out that can, whatever, and they started doing whatever. Thinking that's when the cops came and they tried to get at Dren again. The dudes from the inside, I turned around. And I don't know, I guess that's when Smooth and them stopped them, but I think it was BX Holy, but they really was trying to get at Dren, but they noticed he was knocked out. What they gonna do to him? They can't do nothing else. And that's when the cops came, and I seen dude, I'm like, yo, no, cops started wilding, man. The cops, it's the cops' fault. So I was trying to protect my man. I thought he was my man. So the cops said, I don't care. I don't know, man. As you see, Panda, when it comes to cops, anybody, man, I'm gonna go all out, bro. 1 against 10. And that night, my man needed help. And they worried about locking us up. And Yonkers, we was in a bad time. And Yonkers at that time, I mean, Mount Vernon was really, I mean, it's racist. Yonkers, Mount Vernon, White Plains, all that. You know, the cops be wilding over there, son. They wild. So once moving on, you know, they over there doing their thing. Dren's still on the floor. And that's when the cops told me they kept telling me to get away from him. Get away from him. I'm not getting away from him because I see people coming. Y'all it's like they want me to get away from him. So these, I mean, you still had, it's like they was trying to kill that dude that night, man.
So you didn't get knocked out?
Who?
You.
Get the fuck out of here, yo. You what's wrong with
That's
you?
what Cuban said. Cuban said you got knocked out.
When?
He said after Dren got knocked out, you got knocked out.
Get the fuck out. Yeah, about the cops. They didn't knock me out. They didn't get the fuck out of here. Niggas, they knocked me out. You full of shit, nigga.
No, he said that. Okay, I'm just saying though. I don't know. He, sometimes all the details ain't correct. So I'm just clarifying.
Hey, he ain't say shit. What, he knocked out with what? From who?
From one of BX Hova's people.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Ain't none of those niggas knocked me out. Ain't none of them touched me. Get the fuck out of here. Those two was fighting over there. I'm worried about Dren and fucking the cops is I'm with the cops 1-on-1. Smooth would tell who knocked me out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know.
I seen that interview with you and Smooth. Smooth told you the story.
I know, but you didn't see the one where Cuban spoke about it before that, and he said that you got knocked out.
Man, roll the clip.
One of my guys started beefing. They got drunk. Two of them got drunk, and we was chilling, having a great time. The dudes decide to go on their own little quest to go around Sue's. So next thing we know, I thought they go to the bathroom. We chilling, me and Petey chilling. And we start trouble over there somewhere. I see like a group, like across from the bar. I see like a group of dudes, and I heard a bam, bam, like, you know what I'm saying, real quick, like, oh, what happened? So I go over there because I know these niggas, they left my side, they left outside. I mean, they left my side to go somewhere. So now I go over there, and I seen the bouncers like holding them up, niggas, you know, kind of disoriented because they got snuffed. You know what I'm saying? So they got snuffed out. So now I'm like, damn, these are my guys, right? But still, I knew they was drunk, whatever, but I'm going over there to find out what happened by myself. Because everybody that was with me kind of like left to the front already. There was like on the side. But I went dolo back there to where it happened at.
Nah. I never been knocked out in my life, yo. And Cuban, you should know that, nigga. What's wrong now? You got to confront. When the hell that happened? That day, nah, I was too wired to get knocked out, man. I'm over here fighting cops, son. Who's gonna knock me out?
So to go back a little bit, so BX Hova was actually there.
Yeah, he was there.
So isn't that the time that Cuban punched him in the face? So you saw Cuban punch him in the face?
I mean, I didn't see him punch him in the face, but I seen him go to the left. Because Cuban fatally turned around and started doing when they cracked Dren. That's what I'm saying. Them two was doing. I called money at the door. That was it. Cops was there. They was on me. Ain't nobody Cuban bugging. He talking about another story, another person. Cuban be what? Stop. Ain't nobody knocked me out. Nobody. Hey, yo, Q, stop wilding, son. I love you. Wrong scary wrong person.
You're like, you lucky I love you. Yo, he gonna be.
You taught me how to box, man.
He gonna see this and he gonna be like, "Why the fuck you say that?"
That's all right. It's good. I know he is. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You crazy? Ain't nobody knocked. I was knocked out. I was locked up. I sat in this fucking jail, and then I got bailed out the next day. I can't be knocked out and go to jail at the same time. I mean, Slim told you the story. Right. Dren told you the fucking story. I mean, Dren, the next day, I mean, not the next day, I think with that the weekend, we went up to the studio to pirate recording, man. I mean, we was talking about it there. I mean, Dren was thankful. I mean, he was like, yo, good looking Nonstop, things like that. I mean, it was a crazy night. We was just balling. It goes to show you, I mean, it's just who's running. Who stood there. Everybody stood there and balled out. Ain't nobody get knocked out but Dren. Baby. That's the he got hit with a bottle, I think 2 bottles or blackjack in the bottle or something like that.
All right.
Nah. Get the fuck out of here, PANDA. Stop playing. You just got my blood vessel, yo.
I see the veins on the side of your neck.
Yo, words.
Yo, all right. Do you have any good untold stories? Any other untold stories about like Terror Squad and stuff like that?
None I can think of now, nigga.
None about Q?
I got thousands of stories about Q. I mean, Q's my nigga, bro. I mean, we done mad shit. I mean, Q has Q's a real nigga, though. I mean, there's one nigga, rest in peace. What the fuck is his name? There's an African-American kid. He used to have mad dogs. Creamy. I think his name was Creamy. Yeah, Creamy. He was from the second part of Forest, but he used to run around with these pit bulls. Mean-ass pit bulls. I don't know how him and this other guy named Manny used to breed pit bulls. Yo, those shits would be, I don't know what the hell they feed them, but you can't go no shit, right? This when Cuban signed, we was in the, we was standing in the baseball dugout because it was like a festival out there in our block. They was getting a stage and all that crazy. It was about to be some big. Cuban had the chain on, you know, his Terror Squad chain. I mean, the big joint and all that. We was all out there. We was all shining, I mean. His dog jumped at Cuban. Oh, shit. This nigga Cuban say, yo, hold your dog, bro. Cuban's like, what? Cuban said, yo, hold your dog. If your dog bite me, I'm going to kill you and the dog. I was like, yo, we all knew Cuban. I mean, we all know Creamy Cuban, but I understood. And his dog did it again, and we stopped. Like, nah, son. Cuban was going to go to his ass, but Creamy got scared. Somebody had to tell him. Then it became something big, but ended up squashing it. But that day, like, I seen Cuban turn red, right? Every time, like, when Cuban was having a fight, I was there. When he had a fight with Ide, was playing football.
Wait, before you go into that, he punched the dog or he punched the...
Plus,
Creamy.
either way, everybody jumped in.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Everybody jumped in and separated because he was about to. He was about to, you know, the dog jumped again. And I don't know if he's gonna punch the dog or the Creamy. I don't know, but I think that's his name, Creamy, something like that. Rest in peace. He passed away though. He passed away for that same dog thing. Somebody shot him because his dog bit somebody. That's some crazy shit, man.
That's crazy.
God bless his soul, but that's, you know, but yeah. So that, I mean, like, and what's that other shit, bro? Damn, I have a couple of joints with Cuban, man. That nigga crazy, man. What's that other one, yo?
What?
I don't know. I'm thinking about the other time with Cuban.
Oh,
I was thinking. I don't know. That should have come back to me. I got shit ton of marriages with Cuban, yo. But my nigga, dude, man. Know what I mean? But
All
it
right,
is.
Nonstop. I just want to thank you for your time, man. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we go ahead and wrap it up?
Yeah. Make sure you edit some of your stuff, man, because you got me cursing up in there. But yo, Panda Chop, salute to you. My nigga killed, but yo, Cuba. Son, you know I ain't getting knocked out. Stop playing. Because I don't even, I mean, I can't go to jail and be locked up. That ain't happening. The only person who was knocked up that night was Drake. And, nah, yo, Panda Chop. You know how it is. I appreciate it, my G.
Appreciate you, my
To
bro.
you. And I want to see what's the next step on this. I want to see what Kuba said about this. Make sure you tell him to watch this. Come and holler at him. And always a funny dude, bro. Send it to him. Tell him to watch this.
Yeah.
Yep. Kuba, I love you, nigga. See, okay. What's good for life, bro. You know what I mean?